everybody. Hello, everyone. How are we all doing tonight? Tonight we are doing Lost Minds of Phandelver, first episode of a stream campaign series starting on Sundays. I'm going to read the adventure book, or at least we're going to introduce characters, game race, and City of Neverwinter, where Dungeon Rock Seeker has to bring a wagon load of provisions roughly of Phandelver. Travels up something exciting. Only that brothers found something big. Then set out ahead of you on horse, along with a warrior and Hallwinter. So, starting from the left, give character introductions. Destiny.
Hi, my character is Rin. She is a goblin. She has dark green skin and white eyes, and I have to pull up her character sheet to tell you anything else, because I wasn't ready for that. Rin is a rogue, and she comes from the goblin tribe that we're going to see. And she's not happy to be going back there. That's all I got for you.
Vito.
Hey, how you doing? This is Vito. I'm a bugbear fighter. I'm about 7'2", 290-ish going on. Gundren, I ran a few jobs for him back in the day. Did a good job, so he hired me again. I don't know any of these fools I'm going with.
Right. Amris. Amris?
Sorry, sorry, I was being distracted. Fuck, what was the assignment? I'm sorry.
Race, class, and how you know your patron Gundren.
The chicken.
Yeah. What? Sorry, so race, class, and...
How you know your patron.
Yeah. So, Amris, Minotaur Paladin, and after being a gladiator in the tournaments in the town, they expressed to... What's his name, sorry?
Gundren.
Gundren wanted to do a little bit more than just being a gladiator. And through that, Gundren got Amris to help with the transportation.
Okie dokie. And Barnet.
Hey, Barnett is Barnett. Barnett
Gotcha.
is a human ranger. He tends to be more of a hermit than anything else. Doesn't like people, not very sociable, and prefers to spend time with in the wilderness and by himself, pondering the thoughts of life. Although he does need money, he does feel that it's his job to help people who just are not familiar with the woods. His job actually is an outlander. His job is to guide and get people safely to locations. So he's constantly being hired to transport caravans, help the rich who are spoiled and can't survive out in the woods. He helps them hunt. He'll do anything that pays him money that revolves around the wilderness. And so he sees this opportunity as increasing his money so that he could one day create the land that he wants in the wilderness, and this is a good start. So he'll take any job that he feels he can survive.
Doki. All right.
I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong page of notes about the Gundren thing. Yeah, so Rin knows Gundren just by sort of meeting him in the outlying towns and showed herself to be resourceful by sort of helping him fight off bandits once or twice. And so he calls her up when he needs a little bit of grunt work done.
Gotcha. All right. So you've spent the last few days following the high road south down from just recent. Under no trouble so far, but the story can and it's have been I guess. Actually before that, can marching order. I need two or one people driving the cart, mandatory, and the rest you can drive how you like.
The 2 people in the cart and 2 people elsewhere.
Uh, either one or two, but one person at least has to be driving that.
Should that be me? I guess I actually have the animal handling skill.
Up to you.
Yeah, I think that would be best.
Okay, so I'll control the cart.
Yoki, and where's everyone else?
Sorry, I'm just trying to.
Vito's sitting on the back. His legs are sort of dangling off, and he's sitting there playing with his axe, sort of sharpening the edge a little bit, making sure it looks good.
Rin is sort of following along oddly close behind Amorous and keeps looking up at Amorous. Very interested in their horns and how tall they are.
Yoke?
And my pencil's out of ink or stuff. I'm sorry. I gotta get more lead for my pencil.
You lower the mat. Loud.
Oh,
There is music, so feel free to adjust your volume as required. You should be able to drag your tokens onto the map. ACOFN, thank you for the follow.
okay.
Where are we? Are we going to be on the left side?
Left side, yeah.
Okay.
Drop it anywhere, left side.
We need a wagon.
If you want to put the wagon, you can. Not necessary.
Well, why is my token so large?
I fixed it.
And where am I dragging it from?
Go to the journal pad page, and you should be able to drag your.
Ah, there we go.
We have horses, cattle. What do we have? An ox, a
Two
horse,
box.
and a cart.
Boxing.
Two ox.
Oh, what the fuck?
Bobo Baggins, thank you for the follow.
Hey,
Very much
Bobo.
appreciated. So we're traveling up trail. Head forward for about 50, blocking the several black feathered arrows stick woods down to the trail here. Embankment, dense thickets, either What are we doing?
Move. Okay. Come on. Okay, so we see these dead horses with. What can we see from where we're at? Can we
Black.
see like arrows?
Yeah, black arrows just stuck into.
Okay, so I immediately stop the wagon,
Okay.
and I try to circle it around so that the wagon is more like this.
Okay.
In the event that any more arrows come, right, to
All right.
protect the oxen.
Rin, what are you doing?
Rin pulls out her short bow and jumps up on the wagon and starts looking around for danger.
Amrus, doing?
I'm gonna pull out my battle axe and just stand guard, readying to see if any kind of danger is going to be approaching.
Right, and Vita.
Vito just takes his battle axe. He's still sitting there sharpening it. He felt Barnett pull the cart around, and he's sort of unfazed. Just figures he has to go take a piss. He's not really paying attention.
Okay. All right. Is anyone going to approach the horses? Or are we just?
Well, if
wait?
nothing has happened thus far, then I'll go ahead and jump down and start creeping carefully towards
Wait
them.
like a minute or two. Nothing's happening. Like tree rustling. But that's about it. Feels like just two dead horses in the middle of the road, completely unexplained.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and creep on up, sort of come to the side of the road and move forward.
Awesome. So as you approach the horses, you identify them as onto Gundren Rockseeker and Silver All Winter. They've been dead for about a day, and arrows are what killed. Saddlebags have been lies an empty leather.
Uh-oh.
Looks like we failed, guys.
Okay. At this point, I look at Vito and Amorous, and I say, if you have any missile weapons, this is the time to keep her covered. I will push into the south and see what's happened here to keep an eye on Rin.
They've been dead for about a day. I don't think we need to worry.
As Rin horses affects them, 4 goblins out of the woods.
Also goblins?
Yep, also goblins.
I said hostile goblins.
Roll initiative.
Ah, fuck.
Oh, I just reached for my actual dice. I forgot.
Okay, hold on.
Make sure you're clicking your tokens when you roll.
I didn't. Can I
what
keep
did
my
you
roll
roll?
though? I rolled a 17.
Okay.
What a crappy.
Here we go. I did bad on initiative.
Added you.
Rin, what did you roll for initiative?
17.
17. I got it.
What's
You
your
just
dex? Rin? Dexterity?
19.
Okay.
And I get a +4 on rolls.
Rin? First, unfortunately, you guys were surprised. The surprise rolls that I gave are as follows. You get half your movement and no reaction.
Okay.
Okay.
So I am going to try to move out of the way a little bit. My little measure. I get 15 feet of movement,
Correct.
so I'll just move over here by the horses.
Okie doke. Anything else?
And I will shoot Goblin 1 with my short bow.
Okay.
Remind me what to do here. I roll a d20.
You can click one of the attack buttons on your character sheet. Short bow button. There we go. Roll again, because you're at disadvantage. Alright, that hits.
Cool.
That'll be 6 damage. As you send an arrow towards this goblin, it launches deep into their shoulder. And they're very, very badly injured, as indicated by the aura on them. Anything?
That's it.
Right. Goblin 2. Does Rin have her cloak on or off?
On.
Okay.
As she's been traveling.
Short bow attack on Rin. Where's that? Oh, there we go. Is a 19 hit?
Yes.
Okay.
Gosh.
4 piercing damage.
Being level 1 kinda sucks.
It does kind of suck.
4
That's awesome.
damage. I was like, oh, it's just 4 damage. Oh,
Oh, it's just 4
it's
damage.
just 4 damage.
Make sure you're updating the health on your on a roll.
Oh, sorry, I used Beyond.
Right. Yeah, it's okay. You can do both. Just updating. Vito.
All right, you. Vito hops down and he moves to within 10 feet of this goblin. With his really long arms, he's able to take his hand axe that he's been polishing and sharpening. He's going to take a strike at this guy.
All right.
And I roll with disadvantage, right?
Correct. Oh, that's a shame.
Ah!
So you rush in to cleave this goblin, and using your long arms, you're able to reach him at 10 feet away, but that gives him a little bit extra more time to dodge, because it takes a little bit longer for you to try and connect. Would you like to do anything else?
Vito goes, all right. Sits there and cracks his knuckles. He says, I see we're in for a fight. That's all.
All right. The Goblin 1, after getting shot by Rin, going to up and alliate. Gonna make a scimitar attack against Rin. Does an 11 hit.
No, it does not.
Amorous.
Oh, okay. Seeing the Goblin 1 running up to attack Rin, Amorous is going to pull out their javelin instead and throw it.
Okie dokie.
They know they're not going to be able to reach that far. You launch your... Who are you targeting, by the way? Goblin 1.
Make sure you're rolling at this.
So I'll just roll again.
Oh, shame.
Damn
So,
it.
with a mighty throw, you launch that javelin in the air, like trying to get the arc perfect. But a gust of wind comes from the road to your south, knocks the javelin off path. Else.
I'm gonna move forward as far as I can.
Okay. Where's there
Um,
5 feet
how do
on
I-
this map? You just click and drag
Alright.
your token.
How far is that? To there?
Right here.
Okay, cool.
Anything else?
That's all I can do.
Okay. Goblin 4 is going to close in direction. And that'll end his turn. Barnett. You up to?
All right. I guess I better go give a veto hand. Okay. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay. I will shoot up this way. I pull out my my longsword and my battle axe, and I come across over here and I attack the first one with my longsword with my battle axe. Yeah.
Advantage?
Ooh, yeah. Okay. Mm,
Oh,
hey,
hey.
I do 6 damage to him.
You're swinging one-handed?
Yes. And then and then as a bonus action, I will attack with my longsword.
Okay. That roll? Ooh.
That's not enough.
So you rush up ahead of Vito and you swing your battle axe into its like rib cage, and then you go for a thrust with your longsword, but it just quite nimbly dances out of the way, avoiding the strike. Else.
You know what? Let me see. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 5, 10, 15, 20, 20. Yep, 30 feet. That's where I put myself.
Go. Goblin 3 is going to take a shot at Barnett.
Go ahead.
Does a 20 hit?
Of course it does.
Gotta check. 3 piercing, please. Then gonna quickly skulk back behind the bush to avoid being spotted. And that brings us back to the top of the top order. Rin.
Rin is going to pull out her rapier.
Yoke?
And,
You're free interact.
and attack this goblin that is all up in my face.
Excellent.
Oh, sorry, I pushed too many times.
Okay. Go to thrust into the goblin, but he parries it quite nimbly with his scimitar, and kind of evades it.
Full movement again? Yeah.
Huh? Full movement, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to move out of the way. That's
Which direction?
Sorry, I'm trying to get my thing to move. I will go.
That
It's gonna be an
will
attack
draw
of
an
opportunity.
attack, yes.
Yeah. That's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and do it anyway.
Okay, then.
And go right over here.
I'm assuming a 7 does not hit.
No.
Okay. So then, as you're running away, pretty small for, so he's not quite able to connect. Just misses you. Flashes maybe like the back of your cloak.
Snarl
Goblin
angrily at the gash in my cloak as I'm running off.
Goblin 2 is going to turn around and attack Barnett.
Go ahead.
Ooh, that one.
Fun.
Oof.
He just completely kind of like turned around. He's bleeding, and he's not doing so well. So maybe doesn't have the strength to hold the scimitar up very well, and strike. Vito.
Vito's a little pissed that he missed his last attack, so he's gonna rear back with that hand axe again. He's gonna club it down in the goblin number 2. Do I get advantage on this because Barnett is within?
Yeah, flanking.
Wonderful. Roll number 1 and roll number 2.
19 definitely hits. Why don't you roll me some damage?
I'll deal 5 damage.
Hey, that's enough to finish him off.
Nice.
Anything else?
And then I've got 30 feet of movement. I'm gonna come up here and stand near Rin and try to give her some cover.
Okay.
And I'll end my turn there.
All right. Goblin, once he's Vito approaching, goes forward to meet him. He's going to make a scimitar attack on you. Does a 17 hit?
A 17 does hit.
Right. Did it auto roll the crit? Yeah, that's just 6 damage. Flashing.
So just 6. Okay.
Emrys.
Right. Am I able to move all the way to Goblin 1?
Yeah, you should be able to.
I'm going to run up to it, and instead of attacking it with my axe or a javelin or anything, I'm gonna hit it with my horns.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me just. There we go.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that definitely hits. So you kind of do like a sprint up to Vito's side, and you dip down, trying to like store some kinetic energy, and then you just rush forward into the side, goring your horns into its gut, and just kind of lifting it up with your head as you rise from like crouch. So yeah, that's definitely enough to finish him off. Anything else?
That is all I'm gonna do for now.
Hey, just for future reference, to help you, you could do a horning dash, and that's a bonus action, and you could still move and get your action. Just so you know.
I could. I just wanted to hit him with the horns, though.
Awesome.
That's all I wanted to do.
Excellent. Anything else?
Nope. I'm gonna turn around and ask if the little goblin is okay.
I'm fine.
Aw. Alright, Goblin 4 is again gonna use full movement. And then he's also going to their action to dash. Getting right up to Barnett.
Cool.
That'll be the end of his turn. Barnett, it is now your turn.
When I see him, I obviously attack with my battle axe.
All right. That hits.
For 11 damage. Yay.
It's not a crit, but I'll let you describe this one since you do it in one.
Oh. No, I mean, I just basically come down with the axe, right? The battle axe right on his collarbone, and just smash it and cut into him.
Awesome.
Then I kick him off, and then I will move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and I drop prone. Not drop prone, but I get down using the horse's cover.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you
Without having it.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you half cover for that.
So 2 armor, 2 dexterity. Okay,
Yep.
cool.
Goblin E gonna pop out from the tree, from this
Oh.
little tree clearing.
Yeah, I will trigger if anyone comes within melee range. I will attack with my other attack.
Okay. Goblin 3 is gonna see Barnett kind of crouching behind the horse, maybe overestimate his ability a little bit, and try and take the shot anyway. Ooh,
Wow.
Oh my god.
Wow.
watch.
Yeah,
That's
Ooh.
that's 10
Oh
damage.
my god.
that takes me down.
Oof.
What?
Yeah. So then,
Oh, arrow
Oh,
takes
shit,
me
okay.
down.
then after
Arnish.
after coming around the bush, taking a shot, he sees that all his companions are dead, and he's not waiting around to see what happens next. So the goblin like nimbly just sneaks back into the forest, and you lose sight of him. And that'll be
Bastard.
the end of combat.
Good.
Um,
There's no need to roll saving throws at the end of the encounter.
No.
I can go up and use lay on hands though.
How many are you gonna use?
I'm gonna use 3.
Joke.
Let's be at 4. Cool. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's about half.
Joke. So,
I kind of like startle myself awake, and I'm like, I go, oh, lucky shot, the goblin little fucker.
I take
so-
offense to that.
Giant minotaur standing over you.
After this encounter, what do we?
Oh,
Rin
we
starts following, trying to see if she can see what direction the footprints lead off into.
Hey,
Just kind of, I'm not gonna take off, but I'm just gonna kind of.
I'd like
look.
you rival check, but you can make it with advantage.
Good thing you have advantage.
Yeah. It's a good thing.
Oh my god.
One more.
Vito went back to the cart just to make sure
Oh,
that
no.
nobody's screwing with it.
So Rin, you're kind of scouting around the area. You're kind of looking for the goblin's trace, but unfortunately, you're not able to spot it. So after a couple minutes, you're out of luck.
Um,
Amorous and Barnett, what are you guys up to first?
I will.
after
Go ahead. Go ahead.
after making sure Barnett is okay, I'm gonna investigate around the horses to see if I can find a trail or anything, because it's obvious that the bodies or our lovely patron has been taken by these goblins.
Okay. I'd like you to make me a travel check.
Okay, this might not be
You-
that
you-
good.
You're aware I'm the
Oh, no, it's
ranger.
wisdom.
I'm just saying.
Uh,
I got 7.
So likewise to Rin, you're sniffing around for a couple minutes, and I mean quite literally sniffing, trying to pick up the goblin's trace, but you're unable to spot anything, smell anything. Barnett's.
I will. Well, first, okay. So I see all the obvious who these horses belong to, right?
Yes.
Do we know where these individuals would be normally located, like what town went in, or where they would be from?
We were following them.
I thought we were. Is that what we were doing? Following them?
You were escorting their supplies. Supposed to meet them
Yes.
down in Phandelver.
Okay, and but these horses belong to the people we were supposed to meet.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Our patron.
Yeah, that's not good. Okay, so I think we should look over the horses, see if there's any other clues in detail. I'm not the best to do that. I will spend my time tracking the goblins.
All
Best
right,
I
I'd
can.
like you to roll me a survival check.
Okie dokie. Here it goes.
Oh, that was me that moved.
All right.
I have favored of woodlands, so I get to roll with advantage.
All right. Well, it doesn't matter because you made
It's gonna be
me
just-
check.
It's gonna be one of those days.
So after some brief inspection of the area, you realize that the goblins have been using this particular spot as an ambush area. And you also find a trail hidden behind the thickets on the north side of the road that leads northwest. Recognize that about maybe a dozen or goblins have come and gone along, as well as some signs of bodies being dragged away.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay. So I definitely mentioned this to the party. I return, I mark it, and then I return, and I'm like, listen, I found a hidden trail with obvious drag marks. How long has it been since these horses have been here?
It's about a day.
About a day. I go, if they're dragging someone, I doubt that they would. I pray that they're still alive. We should try to push forward best we can.
Is that what the party wants?
They couldn't have
Forward on
gone
the trail?
far. They couldn't have gone far lugging two clunky humans. I say we follow them.
There's no
That
way.
is-
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, they were dwarfs.
No.
What should we do about the supplies that we're supposed to be taking to Phandelver? We can't just leave them here.
Is the trail
Yes.
unmanageable with the cart?
The trail, you're not able to travel on the trail with the cart.
Okay.
You are, and the trail will not move unless someone is driving. I'm sorry, the cart won't move unless it's holding the rein.
Can we attempt to hide it?
Yeah, sure. There's a pretty big
I'm
shrub
okay
here.
with hiding it.
I'd say you give me a... Yeah, that works. So you kind of pull the cart along to the side here, and it's underneath the cover of this large bush, and like part the branches away in order to make a spot for it. So it's suitably hidden. No one looking along the road or coming down would be able to, unless they already knew where it was.
All right.
I'm gonna give the. So we've got oxes towing the cart, right?
Oxen, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna give them a little bit of food so that they're not like getting angsty while we're gone.
Yoke.
Just because we have no idea how long it will be.
You guys don't want to spend a few minutes doing our best to keep things hidden?
Didn't we just do that?
I mean, we just kind of parked it somewhere. We didn't like go out of our way to do anything.
I mean, I just described them.
Oh, okay, so that
Yeah.
was it. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Oh, that's fine. Cool. I thought it was gonna be a
If
little
you
more
want to
detailed.
spend
Okay.
more time hiding it.
If you, yeah.
No,
by
no,
all
no, no.
means.
No, let's go.
All right. Why don't you
Ooh.
drag your token over here for me?
I can once everyone's tokens comes in, I can do it. Hold on.
All right.
Yeah, it's not a problem. Won't take but a minute.
Ah. It's not loading.
Not loading.
I don't know what's going on. What the hell has happened? Okay.
Big old minute.
What? Okay.
I'll fix the token so that the hit points. So we won't have to reset the hit points or anything like that. It'll be attached to the character sheet since all the character sheets are complete. As long as you guys are marking it on the token.
I believe Rin also had.
Beetle's good. Hit points.
You loaded in?
Yeah, it's my fucking character sheet isn't coming up.
You might need to refresh.
Yeah, I'll do that real quick.
It does that. Okay. So, while we're waiting for... Why don't you guys give a marching order?
So Rin sort of just looks up at Amherst to see, kind of gauge Amherst's reaction. They've sort of been having an unspoken communication about something, travel-wise. Then what does Amherst do?
Amherst is gonna Amherst is gonna ask if the little goblin wants to ride on their shoulders.
She says, yeah, and climbs up on Amherst's shoulders.
Alright, so then what'll happen is, you guys will use the same tile, and Rin's passive perception.
That would be a really good idea.
As far as marching order, going first, who's going in the back?
I think we
bring up
should
the
be in the
rear.
back.
Oh, you want to do
Yeah.
that? Okay. Yeah, I think I'll walk beside Barnett, keep an eye out, and deflect anything that comes his way.
So it's Barnett and Vito together in Amherst back. Agreeable to you, Barnett?
Sure.
All right. So you're walking on the trail. Barnett's taking. You guys can just slowly move up the trail.
I'm gonna keep an eye out towards the tree line on the right side. See if anything's rustling, if anything looks out of place.
Yeah, so you guys can move along the trail, maintaining the marching order.
Nope. Fuck. Sorry, things are just not working out. Okay, hold on.
No problem.
Problems with a bit of coughing is better than no coughs at all.
Can I remove my
okay,
token
so
from the
hope-
page until I'm down off of Amherst's shoulders?
Who has not to destroy the mood or anything, but who has the highest passive perception?
Yeah, it affects people
That'll
differently.
be you.
Me. Okay.
Oh.
You have a 7.
Okay.
Oh, dirty.
What if... Let me
Uh,
just take a look.
I'm just gonna... So as you approach about 10 minutes on the trail, Barnett
Right.
spots a snare trap.
Oh.
Didn't we get a kill?
Okay, my mouse is not
You're-
working. Hold on. Sorry.
No problem. You're able to
Nice.
avoid the snare trap and move on.
That's what I forgot. Paulus. I'm really upset about it.
So this is not a good sign. I immediately let them know. I go, if they're setting up traps, they expect it to be followed. They knew they'd be slow dragging these
Yeah,
humans.
I've been solid.
This is a good sign that they're still alive,
5 wins in a row.
but we
Then I
should
got
be careful
Mercy,
moving
then I got
forward.
6, but I'm like, fuck, this is gotta be it. And then I just had people leave on my fucking.
I would say, are you gonna take time to arm the trap, or you just avoid it?
Say we avoid it.
Yeah, it's fairly easily avoidable. So about another 10 or so minutes down the trail, about over. You again notice another trap, a pit trap in front of you.
Oh.
This one's a bit harder to get around, but it's still manageable.
All right. Yeah, I'll avoid this one as well.
Right, excellent. So after you make it like on the trail,
Yeah,
it's been
it's
about 5 miles.
But it'd be
Okay,
nice to
so
just
we
have
just
it
went
like,
on-
yeah,
wow.
Drag your.
Good. I'm glad the hit points. Yeah. See, I synchronized the tokens. Cool.
I still have 6 hit points. Yes,
Correct.
Does your hit points not change?
I fix. It's okay. I can
Oh,
fix it every time.
No. I got it. It's because I didn't save it. That's why. Gosh.
So following along the Goblin's Trail, you come across a large cave in miles from the shallow stream out of the cave mouth by dense briar thick. Narrow dry path leads to the right side. How would you guys like to?
I'm quite literally just along for the ride.
Vito's gonna take a big step over the river, and take a peek inside of the opening there, see if he sees anything.
So you're gonna step into the river.
I'm gonna see if I can take a jump over the river.
Yeah, you could probably do it.
Is it a river or a stream?
It's a stream flowing
Okay.
out from the.
How deep is it? If we had a guess, can we look down?
It's not that deep. Maybe like 2 feet.
Okay.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
at
not
the
that
most.
deep. Not that deep.
Like at the lowest.
It's
point.
okay. You don't need to
I'm
worry
3 feet
about
tall.
As
Figure.
as Vito begins to push up, I say, look, we have the element of surprise. Hopefully, unless you think the goblin ran back here before we were able to move. I go, if you think we got the element of surprise, we could move in stealthily. All of us here are quite, I think, at least above average in stealth.
I mean, will the hold work well with it too?
I lean down into Amherst's ear and I say, "How good are you at being quiet?"
Emerson's gonna look down at the very clunky and kind of loud armor that they have on. Not that great.
I figured.
All right, Vito trudges through the water here, and
Gorgeous.
tries to make it over to the other side of the stream, right to about here.
So as you step into the water, a rather large splash, you hear shouting from the other side of the like the thickets. I'd like you to roll me initiative, please.
Whose initiative will we go off of? Will it be mine?
My guy's on there, so we can
you'll-
both have our turns.
Yeah, you'll have separate initiative
Oh, okay, cool. You just won't be able to move.
until you guys separate.
Yeah.
Do I get advantage from being in a nice? Because I'm in an advantageous place to shoot a bow from.
I'll say you can ignore any cover from the thickets, but that's about it.
Okay.
I forgot to click my token, so I rolled a 14.
All right, I can add that.
Okay, cool.
Right, everybody's in.
It'd be tricky with our turns being that far away from each other.
All right.
I like the cat here.
Okay, so
Hey, before we, could I have spent the one hit die for the short rest since we were only doing light activity to move up here?
I'm not even kidding.
I'll allow it.
I will do that. Cool.
Right, Vito, what?
So I heard the yelling coming from here
Yeah.
in the bushes.
Yeah, it's something along the lines of, "Oi, what you doing over there? Who's
Hey,
making
Joe,
that
see,
racket?"
Vito goes, you're a tough guy, eh? And goes and he tries to make his way towards wherever he saw this, heard the sound. Sorry,
Yeah.
heard the sound.
You can make it through the thicket, but it'll be difficult terrain.
Hey, Milky, this is important. On the stream screen,
Yes,
we can see everything.
I know. Don't look at it.
Oh, okay.
The simple answer.
Great immersion.
Excellent
Uh,
immersion.
so-
Don't look at it.
You said I get half movement through there?
Yes.
So he'll go... It's not letting me go through there.
Oh yeah. You
All right,
won't be able to.
so he'll go... So he was here 1, 2, 3. All right, so he'll come right up here on the side of Goblin 1,
Okay.
around the corner.
Gotcha.
He'll whip out his hand axe again, and he'll go ahead and try to cleave this goblin.
Alright.
Do I get any sort of surprise on this one, or?
No, they are aware of your presence. So no surprise.
Yeah.
Man, we're rolling
Jeez.
horrible today.
Yeah, that is a sound miss, unfortunate.
Yeah, sorry.
Uh,
Vito has a long reach, so he'd be standing back a little bit.
Gotcha. Emrys. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, that'll be the end of my turn. Well, before I do that, I'll say, they're over here, guys.
Okay. Emrys.
So hearing that, Vito, was it?
Correct.
Hearing that Vito has found them, Emrys is going to charge as far as she can over to where she saw him disappear. Where they saw him disappear. How far is that? I don't know how to use the ruler to see.
There's a little ruler tool. It's the circle with the.
Ah, okay, cool. So
Yep.
yeah. I'm gonna move all the way up to there.
Okay.
That's as far as I can go.
Okay.
I guess I would pull out a javelin and maybe throw one at it.
All right. Roll to hit, please. You're very close to hitting them. You launch a javelin, it whizzes right past the goblin one's ear, and lands in the bush behind. Anything else?
I'm gonna see if the little
Right.
goblin wants to get down or not, or if they want to stay there.
I'll get down when I want to get down.
That'll be something they'll
Alright.
do on their turn. Where did Vito? Vito step
I'm
underneath?
underneath.
I'm in the same space.
Oh, I didn't realize that you were.
I'll move over there.
Anything else?
I'm gonna have to tie my pencil to myself.
Anything else?
That is my turn.
Okay. Barnett.
Let me see. Can we cut through this wood line or not?
You can cut through it, but that'll be your action. If you want, you can
Okay.
move through it. It's only difficult.
Okay. I have favored terrain woods, so it doesn't count as difficult terrain for me.
All right, so then you can just glide right through. I'm gonna have to move your token though.
Go ahead. Yeah. So I'll pop in there, and I just imagine that my character is very like swift through the wood line, as he's very accustomed to it, and just pushes through with his axe and his longsword.
I'll let
And
you.
attacks.
I'll give you advantage on that attack.
Okay, cool.
Came from a place they were not expecting.
Awesome. Okay.
Okay, that hits.
The Goblin 2.
Yeah. So you nimbly like crawl through the brush and just slip out from underneath and like absolutely gut that goblin.
Good.
He looks down at you in fear as you like cut into him, and that'll be enough to kill him.
Ooh. And for a bonus action, I will attack Goblin 1 with my longsword.
Right? Let's see it. This one doesn't go as well after he sees his friend get absolutely destroyed by you. Yeah, he's more aware of your presence by this point, so he's able to aid you.
Cool.
That'll be it for you, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Actually,
Oh.
5, 10, 15, 20. I'll move here. Right there.
Right.
Okay, I'm good.
So Goblin 1 is going to turn and trying to attack Barnett. That roll. Scimitar attack. 22 hits.
Jesus, yeah, they hit.
I'm rolling good.
Yeah. Well,
3 slashing.
It's terrifying.
I know.
I'm gonna die.
That is first
And
level,
there's-
baby.
Yeah, and the chat knows I'm not fudging anything.
No, I'm good. Hey, I'm good with it.
All right, that'll be it for Goblin 1. We're going to Rin now.
Rin is going to fire an arrow from her short bow at Goblin 1.
All right, roll that hit.
Yep.
So with all the chaos going on,
Oh, I was
the
at a net 1.
Amherst's
Oh,
footing
no.
below you is not quite even. You know, there's a lot of noise. You're shooting over the thicket. All of these small factors add up to the and cause you to miss quite poorly. So that. Anything else?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and jump off of Amherst's shoulders.
All right. So you can move to any square within 5 feet of Amherst.
Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to hide.
All right. Vito.
All right, Vito's getting a little fed up with this not being able to hit anybody thing. So he's going to forego the whole 10 feet thing and he's going to move. Let me grab my token here. He's going to move directly up next to the goblin. He's going to take a swing at him with the great axe, with his hand axe. Do I get advantage because of Barnett?
Yes, you do.
Cool. So
And that's
21.
a hit.
Oh, so close to a crit. All right, and that'll be 6 slashing.
Okay. So you just get real angry. You're kind of fed up with this. You just want to kill this goblin, get it over with. Run straight up to him and just cleave into his collarbone, but it's not quite enough. He's still hanging off.
And I'm going to move to the side here to give Rin and Amherst a shot and get within 5 feet of Barnett, and that'll be my turn.
Amherst.
Right. Emrys is gonna pull out their battle axe and gonna rush forward and smack the goblin. Where is
Okay.
it? There it is. I'll go with the one-handed one.
Two.
And it would be with advantage, right?
One's in the middle.
Yes, it would.
Oh, okay.
I can get one too.
Okay.
So that's more than enough. Would you like to kill it or just render it unconscious?
I would.
Someone want to middle, please?
I would like to kill it.
All right.
That is like a bit.
As she's killing it, I'm like, no!
So you slice into that goblin, just cleaving its head off, and its body just crumples.
One.
Emrys is
Alright.
gonna turn around confused, being like, what? Was I not supposed to kill it?
We need information, Amherst.
Oh.
Vito
That'll
grabs the
be-
goblin's head and puts his hand in it and starts to make it talk like a puppet. What do you want to know?
Yeah, you shove
like that.
your hand deep in that skull, and you get like goop all over your hand. There's like brain juice in your fur now. Like that's gonna take a while to wash out.
Oh man.
All right.
Vito just takes it, tosses the skull on the ground, and just does one of these a couple of times and smears it on his pant leg, and he moves on.
All right. So what are we doing now? Just killed 2 goblins outside. What are we thinking?
I'm from this. Am I from this area?
Yes, you are.
Do I recognize anything about this area?
You recognize the goblins slightly, but not this particular location.
Okay.
The goblin faces seem familiar to you, but not this particular hideout.
Vito's going to take a look in the surrounding trees to see if there's, or in the ground around where the goblins were, to see if there's anything of note, or to tell them what's going on here.
Gotcha.
I think I have 2 things to say.
Is there any way to travel upstream?
Yeah, there's a narrow path on the right side.
Paul?
I'd like to get
Go
back on
that way.
Amherst's shoulders.
All right. Barnett, what are you doing?
I like how we all simultaneously just blank.
They are my favorite enemy, goblins and orcs.
Oh,
And I want to track, and with the ability, because they're my favorite enemy, I can determine the number, location of how many are in this lair if they take this entrance consistently with an
They do.
advantage tracking roll.
they do. So, from the information you gather outside, you're able to determine that there's a little under 20 goblin, or less than 20 goblins in this cave, and they're quite spread out. You can see from the tracks going up the trail that some veer off to the right, some veer off to the left, and some go straight forward on that tiny track in front of you.
Okay. I definitely share this with the process to do that. I imagine it's something like an American Indian would, right? Like I kind of like taste a little bit of the gravel, drop a little
You
bit of
mean
the
a
dirt.
Native American?
American, okay.
Hmm.
And I just basically share that with the party. I say, look, we have to be careful not to spend too much time in one location. The lair is spread out, and there's at least 15 to 20 goblins in this lair, and there's only 4 of us. So we have to, move swiftly and strike swiftly, and make sure that they don't gather around us and we spend too much time in one location. It could seriously be the death of us.
I'm suddenly a little bit uncomfortable with how much information Barnett has on killing goblins. And I'm just kind of looking at him funny but listening to him.
Right. So what's the plan? Are we taking a short rest here? Are we moving further into the cave? What kind
I
of
only have
direction?
6 health at this point. I need to do something about that.
Yeah, same here. I think taking a quick
Short
rest
rest.
here might be a good idea.
Good idea.
Okay. We'll do a short rest. That's if that's what you guys want.
Go filthy. I love
If,
it.
if that's what you guys want, since I don't have any health and lost, and my other hands comes back with a long rest.
Yeah, I already took my short rest, so I'm at
Yep.
what I'm at, 7 hit points.
I didn't gain any hit points. Aren't you supposed to gain hit points from that?
I let him use his while we were investigating and moving.
No, I mean... Oh, okay. Thank you, Ken. How do I do that?
When you heal on your when you hit that short rest button, you should be able to roll hit dice.
My
Oh,
character
Be
sheet.
a little tab. Yep. There you go.
5. Cool.
I'm back to
In
5.
that. Yep. Excellent. All right. So after about an hour of relaxing, just tending to your wounds, drinking some water, having some food. You feel refreshed, ready to go search this cave and find what you're looking for. Going into the cave first.
I think Barnett should be the one to lead us in here since he knows the most about our goblin friends.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe the ranger should go first, and I'll come up last.
Not the worst idea ever.
No, I can think of worse things.
Yeah, I'll stay in the middle of the pack.
Seeing as the ceiling is so low, I'll be walking this time.
So move your tokens accordingly, and the dynamic lighting should adjust.
Yeah, I make a note to them that I can't see in the dark.
Oh. I'll go first
Oh
then.
shit, that's right.
Yeah, so whoever doesn't have dark vision will get torched.
My issue, I cannot stand in the water because it is 2 feet deep and I am 3 feet tall.
There's a little path in this.
Okay.
I don't. Well, I mean, 2 of us can't see in the dark, so we're just gonna have to have a torch on, right? Is that just?
So
fair enough
I
to
get
say?
up to this point where I see
Hold on,
these
hold on.
wool.
Hold on.
Okay.
Are you both using torches or just one of you?
I don't think it's necessary for both of us.
Yeah, just one of us needs a torch.
Yeah, I'll light the torch since I'm a dual wielder and I can actually attack with the torch. So I light my torch in my left hand and I have my my long sword on the other hand.
Set that for you. All right, good to go.
I'll put a little red dot to signify I have a torch on, or yellow. Yeah.
Is there like a torch icon?
You have to put it on there. Like the ones I have, I installed them.
Okay. All right. So, maybe you were saying something that I interrupted.
No, if Barnett has a torch, Barnett can go first.
So I will go in. Why do my hit points keep changing? It's weird. I should be at 7. There we go. Okay. So as I continue on, I make it a point to step about 10 feet at a time. And then when I step in 10 feet, I do like a seals, a stop, a look, a listen, and a smell.
All right. So you're very, very methodical as you go along. So
Ken redeemed a group hydrate. Everybody take a drink.
Thank you, Ken.
I totally need something to drink.
Alright, okay, drink. I'm glad I have water next to me.
Love you, Ken. Because I definitely needed a drink too.
Appreciated. So as you're progressing further and further up the cave, Barnett, there's some low growls, some sniffs. There's like this, like odor. It's not very pleasant.
Vito apologizes.
Ode to Vito.
Brewed that one up myself.
Are we?
Gonna move forward? Yeah.
I'm letting Ray control it.
What am I
Yeah,
controlling?
we're following you. You're the
Yeah,
leader.
Oh, okay. Yeah. At this point, as soon as I see the tunnel, I can see that the tunnel's turning over to the right, and I try to kind of edge my way to that because I think it's a better idea than staying on this river.
I'll have my short bow drawn as well, coming into the cave.
Pull out my battle axe.
Oh,
I've got my battle
that's
axe
not
out as
good.
well.
Is that what I see? Oh, that's not
Just
good.
inside the cave mouth, a few uneven stone steps lead up to a small, dank chamber on the east side of the passage.
Ooh, it's dank.
The cave narrows to a fissure at the far end, filled with the stench of animals. Savage snarls and the sound of rattling at your ears, where 3 wolves are chained up just inside the opening. Wolf's chain, iron rod driven to the base of a stalagmite. As the wolves see you, They start like growling, yelling.
I'd like to try to calm them down.
Okay. Give me animal handling. Where you're not succeeding. Like, reach your hand out to pet the wolf, but it snaps at your fingers.
When she does that, I tell everyone to calm down. I go, please. I go, they can sense fear and anger. I go, these are compatriots, friends of the woods. And I whisper to them in the Sylvan language. Step forward, reach for my backpack and pull my dry tack rations, meats, and I throw it to them as an offering and say, friends, you're free. Please leave.
Yeah, so you scatter the food on the floor, and they just start snapping that shit up. Like, yum, 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 yum. You know? What were you saying?
Here goes my animal handling roll.
Oh no.
Yeah, so
Oh,
like you
man.
toss the food on the floor and they go ham on it. They devour it like chainsaws. And then you're still holding like some rations in your hand and you're like, peace be upon you. Let let nature be free. And they just like come and try and bite your hand with rations still in it.
God, a 1. This is horrible. I don't think I've rolled above like a 13.
We're gonna have
That's
to kill him.
hilarious. So the wolves,
so
they're
funny.
like snapping at you. They're like real angry. Hold on. They start straining at their chains. They try and yank their chains out of them. Stalagmite and the iron rod they're attached to are wrong. What are you guys going?
Or we're gonna have to kill him.
It's possible they've
We
been
could
corrupted.
either kill them or knock them out.
I feel that it would be a little difficult to attempt to incapacitate 3 snarling wolves. The way goblins train these animals, they're probably better off dead.
Yeah, they're probably very domesticated and vicious and just.
With that, I walk up to one of them and try to slit its throat with my rapier.
Rolls a hit.
Oh, I'm sorry. With it, with the rapier. I wouldn't be able to reach it with a dagger.
Ooh.
Oh,
So
that's that gets it done.
So
Wow.
you creep up to the wolf. You have your hand out, trying to calm it. You have your rapier drawn, but it's like behind your back. You're acting like very soothing. And then as it gets close enough for you to almost pet it, you slide your rapier into heart, and the wolf whimpers as it dies in your arms.
Oh man.
I want
That
you.
is horrible.
So what I'm gonna do now, and this is where we're bringing this up, your honor score matters.
Oh no, not the honor score.
So
It's
Yeah,
just I had to.
did you though?
I did.
Did you though?
I did make
Okay.
a proposal to knock it out.
So we start with 10. That takes me down like a whole point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just killed a defenseless animal.
They're gonna give us away.
No, I mean they've been snapping and growling at you for a minute.
Mommy.
Nothing's happened.
I mean, yeah. If they were gonna give us away, that
Okay, I'm
would've
gonna kill
already
the other
happened
2
by
now.
All right, roll. Give me some rolls.
Don't give me that tone. It needs to be done.
Does it though?
Oh my god. The other 2 are probably gonna be scared of you now.
So the wolves are whimpering as Rin approaches. They've lost their bite.
I just can't let this happen. I even at the risk of the wolf biting, she may get kill the second one. But
What?
one of them needs to live. Preferably, I can identify one's a female or a male.
Yeah,
And
wolf
I risk.
one would be female.
I will risk. I will try one more time with all my effort to go up to it to show that I'm not threatening. No weapon in hand. I even drop the torch because it could be scared of the fire. And I try one more time to unbuckle it so that it can just run off and give it freedom.
All right, give me
Gonna eat me.
give me a strength check with advantage. Like you're very desperate. You've abandoned everything to accomplish this. But let's see it.
Wait, if I get a ball, I will see it when I
You
get a
Put
ball.
put your foot on the base of the stalagmite, and you rip the rod, holding it down loose. And Wolf 1 just kind of like pushes past Rin, and escapes through the wooded area, through the clearing. However, you're not
Does
able
it still
to.
have chain around its
It
neck?
does. It's dragging the iron rod on the floor with it.
Can I try and catch it as it goes past me so that I can get the chain off of its neck?
Unfortunately, not. It's tasted
Damn it.
freedom.
Just let it be.
It's
It's fine.
But
Unfortunately,
the other one.
Wolf
It has a
2
fighting
Chain's gonna
chance.
fuck it up somehow.
Wolf 2 is not as fortunate. Barnett is not able to free this one, and it meets the same fate as the other wolf did.
I just give Barnett a mean look.
And now there is an eerie silence in a cave that was once quite loud with the sound of snarling.
I do not like this in any kind of situation in the wild. When anything goes silent, that is not a good sign.
All right, what are we doing now? In this area, the little escarpment, like this rough terrain patch leading upwards, but you can't really see what's up there. And then, of course, you have the rift.
Yeah. I need to be able to throw something if I have to. So I'll take out my hand axe. I'll put my longsword away, take out my hand axe, so I have the torch and the hand axe.
Okay. Rin. What are you doing?
Oh, you were talking to me.
Yes.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm gonna follow a little bit behind Barnett and sort of just watch him.
Destiny.
Take...
Thank you for the gift stuff for Bobo Baggins. All right. Vito, what are you doing?
Vito takes a step back from Rin and takes a look up the river here to see if he can see anything.
Roll me a stealth check, please.
Sure thing. Come on.
I know, right?
Oh, that's...
Like we're
Oh,
terrible.
oh, no.
Right in the
We're
water.
terrible today.
So
We are the noisiest party
Yeah.
to ever walk these woods.
I'd expect something like that from me.
Bugbear,
okay.
known for their stealth.
Passage is filled with a mighty roar as a huge surge of rushing water pours down from above. Any creature that are on
fuck.
in the river currently need you to make a 36.
Come on.
Oh my god.
R.I.P. Vito.
Dexterity.
70% chance of
Hey!
succeeding.
So Amorous, you're able to just hop onto the platform. But Vito, he gets swept by the current. Vito, I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Here comes the nat one. There we go.
There we go.
All right.
Oh,
Alright. So you managed to hold on to like the ledge as the waves come crashing for about a minute. But then all is alright.
Vito takes the hand that's still dripping in that goblin viscera, and he like flicks it back through his hair to make sure that it's all coiffed properly. And then he hops back up here on the ledge.
Okay. What is the plan? Actually, you know what? We're getting close to our 90-minute mark. We're gonna take our first break
Good.
for the evening. It's 8:24 CST. We'll meet
Just a
back
second.
here in 10 minutes at 8:34. So we'll see you in 10 minutes, guys.
All right.
Hi, I'm Lombot Goldstein, but you can call me Lombot. Well, I'm not having a panic attack about the ever-increasing stack of unfiled paperwork waiting in my office during my adventure. I'm dreaming of better days, spent in the Dungeon Divers Discord server. There, I could find fantastic stories, meet new people, make new friends, and share new and wonderful experiences, completely distracting me from my real-world duties and obligations. It's ruining my life. Anyways, they're running multiple games a week, every week, with experienced DMs and an active moderation team, so make sure you come by and check things out. Also, make sure you're subscribed. It's free with Prime, and you'll no longer have to watch ads. It's a wonderful thing. Anyways, I've finished dissociating enough to do this advertisement, so I'm gonna go finish some paperwork. Bye-bye!
Hello, everybody. We're back playing Lost Mines of Phandelver. For any of you showing up just now, we have located a goblin hideout, killed some poor defenseless wolves, and are now looking further after being swept away by river. So, what's our plan of action?
I think from here, well, I mean, I'm pretty sure we can squeeze in through the right. I don't know, maybe a goblin can?
Are you
don't
sure
know.
you don't want to look for some puppies to pet?
I'm just giving suggestions here. If you could scout ahead to the right, if you could squeeze through the
Can do
passageway.
that. Hold on,
it
roll
could
20
be-
floating. I'm
it could
going
be
to.
useful.
Vito takes a step back and lets a couple of people go in between him and Rin.
So is Rin moving forward up the river path?
Yeah, gonna have to.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My roll 20 feet is still fuzzy. I'm waiting for it to sort of load in.
So the main passage from Cave Mountain, I'm steadily up, plunging and splashing down. In the shadows, a side passage west across the other side of the
I looked at Barnett to see whether he wants to go this way or that way.
shadows of
Sorry.
falling to the out the M-shaped wood, rope crossing over the passage ahead. Other passage
Okay.
above the
Yeah, we need to get to higher ground if we can.
try and cross over the river. Go up the passage forward.
I look at everyone. I mean, I think it's
I'll
a bad
make for
idea.
the bridge.
Yeah, I think we should be going north, going around and try to get around it. Because trying to climb in this stuff is not a good idea.
Okay.
At least that's my opinion. But if you guys want to, I'll go with majority vote. Whatever you guys want.
How tall up does it look this passageway? The one over here to the left.
Good question. I'd say doesn't look that.
You got an
There's some rubble on it, but it looks fairly.
Did Milky cut out for everybody or just me?
Did it? Did I cut out?
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
a second.
Yeah. So as I was saying, it's it looks fairly easy climbable, not too steep. There is some rubble on the floor.
What do you? I look over at Vito. Vito, what are you thinking?
Vito?
Can you not
Vito.
hear me?
Sorry, can you guys hear me now?
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Gotcha. Sorry, my internet's a little wonky today. I mean, I'm for going up this little passageway here on the left. Going up the way that they're thinking that we're going is going to be a bad idea, I think.
Okay. Yeah. Ren, what do you think?
I think somebody's going to have to give me a lift across that river.
Okay.
forgot.
The eyes have it.
Completely forgot.
So
So I
And
jump.
I'd be happy to help.
I jump on Emerson's shoulders.
oh, you're jumping on. Okay, so you guys cross the river, and you're on the foot of this kind of like, I don't want to. It's for passing. Who's gonna try and go up first?
I think Vito would go up first.
Okay. Vito moves forward. And I believe. Vito, off the top of your head, do you know how much you your ways?
295.
95?
Yeah, 295.
Okay.
He's over 6 feet.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna make a dexterity saving throw.
Uh-oh.
Because as you climb up to the ledge, rubble loose underneath, start tumbling back down.
Oh no, that
You're
makes
gonna be-
probably a lot of noise.
There's quite a lot of noise. Sounds a little bit like this.
No.
Oh
you're gonna-
no.
Why can't I hear that?
Your
Your
volume might
master-
be a little low.
Yeah, your master volume might be too low.
I have Google Chrome turned all the way down.
So you're gonna take 5 bludgeoning damage. Prone.
Okay, so that's just far too dangerous at our level.
I thought I'd fuck.
Beto stands up and he's brushing off the rubble from him. Checks to make sure his hair still looks good. He's like, yeah, you guys might not want to go up there. Yeah.
I immediately make my way like underneath the bridge.
Seeing Vito fall, Emrys is gonna forego going up that way.
When I get to the bridge, I kind of pin myself up against the wall and try to hide. So if anything, because I'm sure that sound echoed throughout the chamber. If I see anyone, I'm going to like stay hidden and hopefully try to ambush whatever comes around. So I stay underneath the bridge so nothing on the second floor can attack me, and then I stay ready right up against the wall with my hand axe. And I the torch, even though because the torch is there, I kind of flick the torch slightly behind me.
Okay.
Over here behind me, sort of, so that someone can focus on the torch rather than me.
So, Amorous, what are you?
I'm gonna kind of follow behind. I'm gonna stay a little bit behind Barnett, just so that I don't know, just make sure I'm not spotted by anything. 'Cause there's no way I'm gonna get up that fucking hill that Vito just fell down. Considering I think he's taller than my Minotaur character.
Yeah, I'm 7'2".
Oh, okay. I'll be honest.
Yeah, taller. I'm
I'm
16.
gonna put a shader on my character.
So if you can't get up, there's no way I'm getting up.
Okay. So the goblins that are in this cave somewhere hear this racket that you and one of them comes back to
On top of the bridge.
on top of the bridge.
Yeah.
So does your thing activates or no?
If I can see him, like if
Yeah.
if I hear him, I'll inch out where I could attack him and throw something at him.
Yeah, so you can hear him.
You want me to make a stealth roll? I will.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead. Okay. Yeah, that's more than enough. The goblin is completely unaware of your presence. So as he's approaching, kind of see his feet on the bridge, and you can reach them if you extended yourself as much as possible. It would be difficult. It'd be easier to like hit him if you were a little bit farther back.
No, I'll throw something at him. Can I?
Okay.
Oh, can I throw something at him?
Yeah, you can throw something at him.
Yeah, I will. I aim, and since I have the attack in the ambush, I will go for a hand axe. I pull out my dagger, and
Yeah.
I'll throw my hand axe first. And
Okay.
if I miss with that, I'll attack with my dagger as well.
Okay.
There goes the hand axe. Advantage
That hits.
for 5 damage. Ugh. And as a bonus action, I will throw the dagger if he's still alive. If he doesn't like fall off the bridge or anything like that.
You hit him in like the back of the heel, and he kind of stumbles forward off the bridge. It's a pretty sizable fall. And so he takes like a 2d4 bludgeoning.
Did you say it was 20 feet up or 10 feet up?
20.
It's 2d6.
Oh, 2d6.
Yeah, it's 2d6 for it's 1d6 for every 10 feet.
That's enough to put him out of his.
And then look at everyone and I kind of like, give that arm signal like, hey, let's go. We need to move. This is a bad spot to be because if they have bows or missile weapons, they could just be shooting stuff at us from the top of this bridge. We need to get around it now.
Okay. So I think by this point Vito would have had enough time to stand up.
Yeah, Vito would be standing up, brushing off whatever was hurt of his ego. And he'll be
maybe some
following
dust.
up Rin and Amris.
Okay. Are you guys gonna continue up the path?
I go back, grab the torch, and pull my hand axe out of that stupid goblin. And I guess I'll wait for everyone to move up. I don't want to push up anymore without them getting a little closer.
Yeah, I'm gonna draw my bow while Amherst walks us up.
I do tell Rin that she has, I understand that Rin is very stealthy and a goblin and can see in the dark. And I say this would be a good idea for this is a good moment for you to push forward.
I nod and I jump off of Amherst and try to creep up to the left.
And no, that
Wait,
so
which
we're-
direction was
we're-
the goblin you killed?
He was on
It
top
was-
of the
it
bridge.
was on
We're
the
underneath
bridge.
it.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're going north.
Yeah.
Correct.
And
Okay,
and
yeah,
I,
I'm gonna try to sneak forward then.
And I will provide cover with my hand axe and my torch, and I'll keep the torch back so that, because, right, I want the shadows of the torch to kind of give her, like, make it easier for her to flicker past by where I'm at, right?
Yep.
Just don't help with me
so-
being stealthy.
So Rin, how are you going to?
This way.
Right. So you see what's in front of you, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So how do you wanna handle it? Your cloak is still up, correct?
Yep.
Right.
I'm gonna go for a sneak attack with my short bow.
I mean, they do see you.
No, you didn't ask me to roll stuff. Okay, they see me.
They're aware there's people.
I
They
signal
see
to
you.
Barnett. Yeah, okay, I signal to Barnett, and I just I take aim at Goblin 1
Okay.
and shoot him.
You should have
Where-
intermingled with them. Ah, okay.
So
And think about that.
We'll roll initiative.
Can I take these backsies?
Oh.
Oh.
Fortunately. Everybody. Or no. Corner. So, as Rin hops around the corner, with her bow, He sees this and immediately draws his bow and takes a shot in turn. An 18.
Yeah.
Or
Oh
piercing.
no.
That'll be it for Goblin. Burnett, how are you doing? What are you doing?
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay. Oh, this is not good. Okay. Yeah, here's what I do. Oh, keep hitting. I'm so used to doing that. Okay. I will run over here. 5, 10, 15, 20. I'll push
Oh
into the
no, my
stream.
light source.
I'll push into the stream there, and I don't want all the attacks to kind of go towards Rin, so I kind of make it a point to say I speak Goblin. So I say to them that the seeker of Goblin hides is here, and I do my best to get their attention, and I will go on dodge.
All right, why don't you roll me an intimidation?
Okay,
The
here
seeker of
goes.
Goblin hides.
It's one of those situations where I'm glad that I'm not the person he's after, but I'm still kind of creeped out.
Yeah, so you kind of like hop around this pillar, like this cave stalagmite, and you're like the the slayer of
The keeper of Goblin hides.
The owner of your skin is here.
We rolled a 3.
And they kind of look at you confused. They kind of dismiss you as a threat. Amris, is that it for you? Burnett?
Yeah, I will pull out my I will no, I'm good. I'm good with the, actually I'll put away my hand axe and I'll pull out my longsword.
Okay.
That's it.
Amris, what are you doing?
Alright, I'm gonna follow my light source and go over here just to see what I can see. Oh god, the dynamic lighting is not okay. I'm gonna step in front of Rin. I can't see anything. I can't see where anything is.
That's because there's a wall there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna have to just go in there.
I'm gonna step in front of Barnett to see. So that would have been okay, I'm not gonna be able to move all the way over there.
Keep in mind that you're currently in a pool of water. It's
Okay, I'm
actually
also,
this pool has been drained pretty much all the way, so it's like half an inch deep.
right. I am 16, so it's not gonna have much of an effect on me.
Right, just letting you know. Making little splishy splashies.
I'm gonna pull out one of my javelins. I have like 3 left. And I'm gonna throw it at Goblin 2.
So you like just kind of like splish splash into the pool, and they're like this hulking minotaur in this tiny dark cave, just making an absolute racket. And you launch a javelin, but you know at this point they're so aware of you, quite easily avoid the javelin. Anything else?
That is all I can do at the moment.
Alright, so then we'll be going over to Rin.
I think
Like your mic is you need to move your mic.
Oops.
No sound.
Now there's
There you
nothing.
go.
And now?
Yeah.
We can hear you.
Feels like some static, so yeah.
We'll
Oh
just
no,
assume
my
that she's
troubles.
stabbing some innocent wolves.
Here I am. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay,
Sounding great.
sorry about that. All right, yeah, I'm going to go for another short bow attack.
All right, let's see it. Ooh.
Damn. Natural 20. That's what I like.
Ooh,
Roll me some
hell
damage.
yeah.
All right. I'm going to let you describe this one.
I take aim at Goblin 1, and as I release my bow, it flies and goes straight through his left eye.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I'm imagining like his body just like slumps after the arrow exits out the back of his head.
Drops to the ground.
Super cool. All right, that'll take out Goblin 1. Anything else?
I will hide. Oh, I'm gonna creep back around the corner so that I can't be shot.
Okay. Goblin 3.
That's the end of my turn.
Goblin 3 is gonna push out way and shot at.
Ooh, okay.
Is an 8 hit. Probably not.
No, it does
Negative.
not.
So that's it for him. Vito.
How tall is this bridge here?
It's about from where you are, it's about 20 feet. From around over here, it's about 15.
All right. So Vito is 7'2", really long arms. I want to see if I can jump, grab onto the bridge, and try to pull myself up on top of it.
Maybe not from where you're standing, but from like here, you should be able to do it. Roll me athletics, please.
Athletics.
Yeah. Yep, that'll do it.
Great. So was that my action?
Yeah, we'll say it was.
Okay, so it was about 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, that's all I can do. I'm just gonna stand right there.
All right. Goblin 2 sees Vito climbing up the stairs, and wants a piece of that. Gonna step forward past Goblin 3, make a scimitar attack. 20 hits,
Yeah, 20 hits.
8 slashing.
I am down.
Oh. Okay.
Oh no.
All right. I'll get to him. So
Barnett's.
upon seeing Vito recklessly go in there thinking he could get the jump on the goblin, I shoot.
Actually, you
And-
wouldn't see Vito from where you were standing.
Oh, okay. But I see the goblin attack something from the
Yeah,
edge,
you
right?
see it move past, and you can hear
Yeah.
sounds and
I-
assumptions.
I come out and I attack.
Okay.
I will first I will hit the goblin with the longsword.
I believe you're standing on a rock.
Oh, sorry, right there.
That hit.
Wow.
Wow. So
Nice.
unfortunately, you
Ooh.
leave through
I
the
am
air, but
terrible.
you miss.
And I will do a bonus action to attack with the torch.
All right.
I'm just gonna roll
Ooh.
I'm gonna roll the longsword again, but the damage will be 1d6, and I'll roll the actually I'll roll the hand axe. Here it goes. That hits him.
So roll me that 1d6.
That is the 1d6 right there.
Oh, is it? Okay, cool.
Yeah. So I did eight fire damage to him.
So
With the
you,
torch.
See if he'll
you
catch on fire if you're hitting him with a torch.
swing through the air with your longsword and miss, but you have that follow-up attack with your offhand. You just bash him upside the head with the torch, and the grease from his hair catches on fire and skull is like melted. Very horrible way to go. Like the goblin screams echo throughout the cavern. Right. Anything else?
5, 10. I'll move here. Whoa.
That's
I'll
gonna
move
draw.
there.
Oh,
No, right there. I'm sorry.
okay.
There, and I can't. That's it. I mean, I go there to like protect over Vito, basically. That's it.
Emrys, what are we doing?
Right. I'm going to rush forward with my battle axe to slam down onto Goblin 3.
What, baby?
Oh, yeah!
Oh yeah, that's a crit.
Nice.
How do you want to do it?
Yeah. Rushing forwards and just bringing that battle axe down on top of the goblin.
Awesome. And that was the last of them.
I kind of sweat a little, clean the sweat off my brow, thankful for the huge Minotaur's attack.
All right. So one of us is down currently.
Oh, I have lay on hands. I can move over to him.
Oh, I hate this game.
Give him the last few hit points, right?
Yeah, I'll give him the last 2 that I've got. I'm sorry about that.
Vito comes back to consciousness and he's like, all right, where is this guy? Where?
Buddy. I'm just patting
Me,
his
Adam.
shoulder. Buddy,
And
he's
he-
already gone.
Vito is laying on the ground. He looks over and sees Rin standing above him, and he sort of shuffles a little way to the side, afraid that Rin was the one that did him down.
At this point, I say, do we go west?
I look at Barnett. I say, "Don't you want to collect their skins?"
Oh my god.
I just say I'll rip their scalps later. They do serve a bounty.
Let's
They're
go.
needed.
I'm
I
gonna
go.
point at the one that I cleaved in half and say, I don't know how much you're gonna get from that one.
Are we gonna go north? Are we gonna go northwest from here or southeast? I think we should go northwest personally, but it's up to you guys.
I'm just gonna follow the man with the light.
Don't move your tokens far.
Can't I walk around and have a look? See?
I mean, we're trying to keep it orderly.
All right.
Vito's learned his lesson from the last time he tried to take the lead, so he's just gonna go with whatever the party says.
Well, we'll put it to a vote. Who wants to go northwest and who wants to go south?
I would rather go northwest. That's my vote. Over the bridge.
Emrys?
I go with the smart antler man.
I think, yeah, going over the bridge would be a good idea.
Right. So that is
You
3
two
to
need to figure it
1.
out.
Over the bridge we go. I'll let you move your tokens.
Again, I take out my hand. It's my hand axe and my torch. Put my sword away. I look at the bridge, and because I don't know, I don't know the skill set of the group, and I whisper back to Vito to pass it down to Amherst and Rin if any of them are qualified in engineering, or if they can somehow test the sturdiness of the bridge.
So, what check would that be, by chance?
Sorry, my kids are fighting.
Emerus not really being smart enough to understand what he means is just like, why not just step in front of it? Just step on it.
I said, I know it's sturdy enough to hold up a goblin. It'll probably hold the rest of us.
So I go
including the
ahead and
bugbear.
cross.
I'm just more concerned with, in the event that something happens and we have to retreat, maybe we could set up a trap or set up something to collapse the bridge in the event we have to retreat. And then I reach
Is it
into my.
just a... Oh, sorry. Is it just a wood bridge or is it a rope bridge?
It is a wood rope bridge. It's like wood planks bound together with a rope.
Would it burn? Like,
It would
'cause
burn.
I figure with the water, it's probably really wet and moist. It would be difficult, or like
It'll burn. But it would probably take some effort. You'd have to be pretty good at making fires to set a trap that would work.
So here's what I got. So I have lamp oil. I
Okay.
can cover after we cross. Well, I think I can soak the sides of it, and then so I'll let it sit, right? So I get my lamp oil and I kind of brush it across, not the bottom, but like the rope bridge itself. You know, the rails, I guess, so to speak.
Yeah.
And then I also have a hunting trap, and I set up a hunting trap right here behind us in case whatever's in this tunnel comes back towards us, and I'll do my best to hide it and conceal it and set it up right here on this tile in the event that something comes behind us.
I know 2 of us have got battle axes, so if we absolutely need to, we can just cut the bridge down.
Okay. I mean, it's just an idea, and I make sure that everyone, one square over, it's actually going to be where Aramis is, so it'll be like this.
I'll move forward.
I have a trap. What do you call it? Bear trap? That's what it's called.
Oh, do you?
Surprised
Place
it's not
it
a
for me?
goblin trap.
Yeah, I actually have a bear trap. It comes as part of my class thing. Boom! There it is. Boom.
Okay. All right.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Mm.
I will let you guys do half.
Yep. I let everyone know that the trap is there, right? And so, like, this isn't a secret. I'm like, hey, look, this is to cover our tracks in case a lot of noise was made in that cave in. If something does come probing around on this side and you hear something snapping, it's the trap. If we're having to run back, just be aware that the trap's here. And if we're overwhelmed or if something happens and we have to leave in a hurry, we can collapse the bridge, maybe climb down or come around and exit the cave if we have to. And
plan.
with that, I think that I ask Rin if she's willing to push forward. Again, I have a torch, and I think you pushing forward to see if
I
there's
have dark vision. I'll go ahead.
Yeah.
Can I
So
try to sneak around this corner? Is there any sneaking left to be done?
You can try.
Do you want me to
I love
roll
that.
for that?
Can try.
You can. I mean, you don't have to roll stealth until someone can see you. So give me a stealth roll now. That's pretty convincing. So you're just kind of like slinking along the cave walls, using the ins and outs, the fluctuations in shape, mask your approach. So as of now, they don't notice.
How far can I move?
I would say probably to about here before possible.
So, oh, I'm gonna go back and tell them what I see.
Okay.
That doesn't sound good.
Do
Sneak
not
on
like the
back,
sound of that.
and I say, there are at least 5 goblins. They have
Oh.
hall water and stone. What is
Hall
his
water?
name? What?
Oh, it's all winter.
Gundren and Hallwinter, tied up. Are they conscious? Could I tell?
No. No,
And
you
that's
couldn't
all
tell.
there are at least 5 of them. There are probably more.
Well, we gotta save those 2. So I don't know what to do.
What's the plan here?
I'm all for just rushing in there to to take them down.
Well, I'm
You
not
wanna-
rushing. You guys can rush in there, and I will
Do you want to
follow.
try to go in there and convince them that you're one of them, and see if you can try to free the two of them?
I ask, were they torturing him? Were they holding him prisoner for ransom? What was your intent on what you think they were doing to him?
Do you think that all goblins just sort of can hear each other think, or?
I only assumed that you were observing them.
They're just sort of standing in there.
Are they armed? Like waiting
Yes.
for us to come in?
Yeah, they're guarding. They're guarding them.
Ooh.
They probably know we're already here, considering all the noise.
Well, after you. And I sort of just walk back this way so that they'll follow.
Are you guys
Well,
gonna...
Mr. Light
You-
Source,
you-
I'm following you
Yeah, but
because I
guys can
can't
come.
see.
They'll see the light. As soon as I enter around that corner, they're going to see the light. So, like,
All right, I'll draw my bow.
They already know we're here.
I'm curious to see. I say, Amorous, stay near me. I go, I'm not the most persuasive. Do you speak Goblin by chance?
No, I only speak Common
Hey,
and
Goblin.
Minotaur.
I can go try to talk to them. I just don't think it's gonna go well, and I'm gonna die.
I go, we could parley. I mean, they don't want to die any more than we do. And for all they know, we're wiping through their forces in this lair.
We are.
Right?
We are, aren't we? Okay.
So, I mean, I mean,
Do you
just
want me
be
to go in there solo?
I don't think you should go all the way in. I think, why couldn't you speak to them from here? And then I take out a bag of caltrips and a bag of ball-bearing marbles, and I have a bag of 1,000 ball-bearing marbles. I hand those to Rin, and I give the caltrips to Rin as well.
Right?
What do caltrips do?
They're like
The
little, like Legos, but way worse.
You know,
There you
D4?
go. That's what they do right there.
Kind of like that.
It's like stepping on a bag of D4s.
That's what the caltrips do in game
Yeah.
terms. It's on the chat, and here's what the ball bearings do.
Okay. So yeah, I'll sneak forward as far as you said I could go. Lay out the.
At this point, I'm taking out my long bow, and
Mhm.
I prop the torch right here so that I can see just enough around it, and then I have the long bow, and I will creep around the corner. I see anything other than her coming after her, I'm attacking. From
So
there.
I spread the caltrips out on the square in front of me, and then I step back and spread the bearings out on the one I'm standing in.
They're gonna see that. They're gonna hear.
Okay, then why did he give them to me?
I don't know. It's for you to do whatever it is you feel
For
you need
for
to
you
do.
to do what you want.
Probably,
You can do that, but they're
if they
gonna hear you
start
doing
running
it.
after you, you
Okay.
can put them down and retreat.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you what to do because I cannot speak to you because they would hear our plan. from
Okay,
where I'm
so
at and where you're at.
what do I say to these people?
Vito's
I-
pulled
I
out
yell,
his hand. His
Your
hand
friends are
crossbones.
dead.
I mean, I speak Goblin, but I don't have persuasion, and I have 8 charisma.
So I yell in Goblin tongue. Your friends are dead. Unless you want to be next, send ours out.
So you shout, and the goblins are alerted to your presence. They know where you are, and you can hear the leader Yimik, who's sitting on the ledge with Hilder Hallwinter earlier, and he speaks in return. Where is my little old Yimik?
Come out here and show your face.
Ooh.
I recognize the voice and I walk forward.
Rin, I never expected to see you here.
Oh.
You know why you and your mother and I kicked you out of the house? You never showed any interest in the family business.
Oh God.
That's awesome.
Oh my God.
Yes.
And why the hell would I want to be involved in a family like this?
And that's why you're broke.
You're about to be. Release our friends.
I don't think I will. Why don't you have your friends come out here and show themselves?
Friends gonna come out here and show themselves?
At that,
Can we hear what they're
Emrys is gonna
saying?
come around
Yeah,
the
you
corner.
you can hear them.
I can't see anything. Torch, dude.
Behind you. Go ahead and push forward. I'll stay behind you. Vito, you need to stay as far back as you can.
Yeah, Vito's.
Yeah, Vito,
sort of-
might be a good idea to be behind me.
yeah, Vito's crouched, or no, I shouldn't say crouched. He's 7 feet tall.
Wipe your mouth, please.
He's standing right here on the edge of the little slide here.
It's close enough. One false move and the human gets it.
So on the ledge, you see a very injured Stilder Hallwinter.
I just look at Yimik and say, "What do you want?"
What do I want? Well, finally somebody speaking my language. There's a bugbear. He wants to be leader of the Red Brand. But I'm the leader of the Red Brands. You bring me his head, maybe I'll release your friend here.
Oh. There.
I look at my friends and I tell them we should take this deal. He's dangerous.
Vito's ears pop up at the sound of bugbear.
I shoot next to Aramis and I say, is he willing to help us? We could use some goblin hands.
Give us some men to help us with the task, and I'll do it.
I believe at that point, an arrow would strike the wall above Rin.
Damn it.
Or not. So that's the deal. You'll leave them alive. We bring you the head
I ain't
of the
killed him
bugbear.
yet.
Yet. No torture in them either.
Well, maybe you ought to hurry it up then.
Emrys is gonna speak up and say, if I find that you have hurt my patron, there is going to be hell to pay.
I'll keep that in mind. Now go get me that head.
Where is this?
Yeah, we're gonna need some directions, old man.
Yeah, and in Goblin, I say to him in Goblin, I go, how many should we be expecting? What's left? What surprises are ahead?
How should I know? I don't know what you did to get here. Just go back down that passage and across the bridge. You can't miss it.
Don't bother asking him for help, Barnett. He's a dick.
Oh, cat.
I go, do you know this
Sorry.
Goblin?
Unfortunately, this is my father.
Oh. Okay.
Somebody's got daddy issues.
What twist?
Are you guys speaking in common or in goblin?
Well,
I'm speaking.
I spoke common to her in
Yeah, I
that.
think we're all speaking in common.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I say, well, I guess before he changes his mind, we better go be rid of this bugbear. Hopefully, there's not much there. They're dangerous, and I kind of look at Vito and I say,
Rin starts to go to climb on Amren's shoulders and then realizes her father is looking at her and just sort of stops and walks out of the room.
Oh! do we know where this bugbear is?
Yeah, he just gave us directions, which I did not write that down.
It's okay. I
It's-
have them
it's-
memorized.
it's the only passageway.
Okay.
That's
Over
left
the
ahead.
bridge and through
Well,
the
let's
woods.
go, guys.
Okay.
So we can skip past, just going to the bridge. Else,
Over here somewhere. Okay, so I think we need to discuss a plan. I pick up my the bear trap. I still leave the bear trap there in case we need it.
Exactly.
Does anyone have any ideas to draw them out? Do you think they'd come out of the chamber where we could ambush them? Us going in there, I don't think is such a good idea.
I could go draw their attention and then run back. I'm probably the fastest.
I go, "Do you think-"
Could you set the trap right at the mouth of the opening, and then we throw some rocks or create some sort of commotion out there to draw them out, and potentially they get caught in the bear trap?
I go, and what about that tight passageway where the wolves were? Can someone squeeze through there, perhaps? Having a pincer maneuver could be quite useful.
I think really the only person that could squeeze through there is Ren.
But I mean, again, these are just ideas. So I don't know. And then in the event that they don't come out of the chamber, what are we going to do? Right? Like,
So I try to draw them out and then I run towards what?
okay. So I will kind of come around all the way to the opposite end and now position myself here again. I think this is a good spot.
Okay. All right.
Or, yeah,
I
I'm pretty
could
good.
draw the attention since I'm at full health. I haven't taken any hits.
Yeah, you need to push up. Vito, you're pretty good with the bow, right? Or a crossbow or something. But what's your main weapon? Daggers or what?
I got a hand
Battle axe?
crossbow.
Hand
Oh, I
crossbow.
thought he had a battle axe.
Yeah,
I
I
also
think
have
you
a
should.
longbow.
I think you should stay
I
back.
cannot see much. I'm sorry.
I'll push up with you, Amorous. We have the highest armor class, and we're just gonna have to suck it up. Vito, I think you should stay slightly back with your hand crossbow and just ping whatever you got. And with our rogue character, I don't call her that. I say with Ren and her nimble agility, she could take attacks of opportunities on anyone we're engaging. AKA, she can get sneak attacks whenever we're attacking someone, right? So I will leave. Yeah, I'll leave the torch like right here in the center of the room where there's like probably maybe the most light, because I don't want to hold it in my hand. So I'll put the torch down on the thing real quick.
Vito
I'm
pulls
gonna-
out his longbow and he's preparing. He's notched an arrow, and he has it trained on the opening.
I'm gonna stand over here. I was standing on a rock, and I'm gonna ready an action. And when an enemy goes past me, I'm going to attack it with my axe.
Okay.
Can I? It
So
doesn't.
hold on. Either or. So as Rin steps in, several creatures. Some of them are goblins. One of them is the bugbear that you're looking for. And they notice that Rin is indeed a goblin as well. Says, "Oh, it's just one of us.
Oh,
What's going on here? Why are you supposed to be guarding the pool area? What are you doing in here?"
I look at them in Goblin. I say Yimik wants to see the bugbear.
And so Clark steps out of his hiding spot. You know, he was waiting. He heard the racket from before. You know, they were planning an ambush. And he's like,
He heard that?
"Of course he did. You guys
That's not
made
fair.
tons and tons of noise."
I didn't.
He steps out. He's like, "Oh, what is the bugger want this time? You know, stinking goblin."
Said he wants you to wash your arse more. You're making his cave stink. Let's go.
Yemek said that. Yemek told me to wash my own ass. I'll make that man wash my ass. You better bring me to him. So Clark
I
and
run.
his pet Ripper follow. Amorous, I believe you were holding an attack, yes?
Yes, I am. I'm gonna bring my battle axe down onto his head.
Oh,
Also has a
why don't you
arrow
roll it
notch.
with advantage?
good hit.
Oh,
yes. 17 fucking damage. Hell yeah.
So, you know, Clark, he's marching out of this cavern like, "I'm gonna show Yemek, I'm gonna put that goblin in his place." And you just swing your axe down into his back, and cleaving like a very large chunk of flesh out of him.
I think we are going to be rolling initiative.
Yes, you are.
So Vito had an arrow notched and pointed at the opening. As soon as he sees Clark, he would let go and fire an arrow at him as well.
Okay.
Should I roll the attack on that?
Yes, please.
Do I get advantage on this one as well?
Yes.
Because it was a surprise.
Yes. It would happen at the
Nice.
same time.
So 21 to hit.
Yep. Roll that damage for me.
Don't forget your
Alright,
2d6.
Right, so it's 7 piercing, and then he also has his surprise attack, which is 2d6. So it's another 7 damage, so it's 17 total, or sorry, 14 total.
So, after getting his back cleaved open, he's bending over, like his eyes are wide open in pain. He's like his veins in his forehead are pulsing. His mouth is open. He's growling, and then an arrow coming straight through his skull. Puts him out of his misery.
Oh damn!
Unfortunately, the goblins that were with him are now alerted to his presence, but the big threat is dealt with before the combat even starts.
Nice job.
I am so glad I readied that action.
All right, so Rin, it is your
Okay.
turn. What are you doing?
Ripper is a wolf.
Correct.
Well, we know how I feel about those. So I'm going to I'm going to attack with my short bow.
Okay. That hits. Nice. So
Do I get that sneak attack damage too?
you do. Amherst is
Okay.
within 5 feet of Ripper, so you would get sneak attack.
So 8 piercing and 6 sneak.
Yeah, so you launch an
14.
arrow straight past Amherst, literally flying in between her head and her horn, like in the tiny scap, and just slamming into the side of Ripper's cheek, putting it out of its misery.
He's
Oh
Savage.
my gosh.
Goblin 2 steps up and it's a scimitar attack against Amherst. Is a 9 hit?
It does not.
It's not. Vito.
all right. Vito, seeing the success of his longbow, he goes, "All right, this is more my game." Pulls out another arrow, notches
I'd like-
it, and takes a shot at the goblin number 2.
I'd like to point out I would have hid at the end of my turn behind the rock.
Alright.
That's with my bonus action.
Do I get
Ooh,
advantage because he's engaged with Amherst at all, or no?
No. But that
Okay.
does hit, so roll me some damage.
9 damage.
Awesome. You're better with a bow, son.
Yeah, so the goblin comes charging in to avenge its boss. Its mouth's open. That arrow slides straight through its trachea. The
Nice.
goblin is dispatched.
I look at the other guys and I go, 2 for 2.
Is that it?
He takes out another arrow and just sits there and notches it and gets it ready on the opening again, just in case another one comes through. That's it.
You already used your action for the turn, so you
Oh,
ready
okay.
another action.
All right. Yeah, it's just, I'm sorry. It was just for flavor. You're good.
Yep. Got it. So Goblin 1 pushes through the cave mouth after seeing his other compatriot die. And again tries to take a swing at Amherst. And guessing that they're having horrible
Yep. Definitely
horrible
misses.
time.
All time.
Yeah, about time. Amherst, how are you gonna pay this goblin some revenge?
Seeing the goblin in front of Amherst, they are going to bring down their battle axe once again. I'm guessing that doesn't hit.
It does not. You're a little bit too hasty with it. You know, you just slice a little bit too quickly, and
The adrenaline of the other cat fucking up that bugbear is just getting in the way.
yeah. Like
A little
you're
bit
right
too
in
hyped up.
you're right in that battle high. You're ready to conquer these goblins. just a little bit too hasty in your movements. Barnett.
I will push forward and attack with the battle axe and the longsword.
All right, let's see it.
Advantage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
18 for 4 damage. And here's the longsword. For another 8.
Yeah, so your two-handed combo with the battle axe and the longsword, like you go for the legs with the battle axe, cutting his shins open, and then with a quick cleave with the longsword, you get into its neck.
Is he dual fisting two-handed weapons?
He's dual wielding, yeah.
That's savage.
It is. He's like battle ranger.
Yeah.
Those are not two-handed weapons.
They're
A battle axe isn't a two-handed weapon?
no.
That seems
it can be.
counterintuitive.
It can be. It's versatile.
It can be
Oh, okay.
two-handed.
All right. All right.
What, you
all
picked
right.
up the dual wield defeat, you and Varian Human?
Yes.
Yeah. Brutal. All right. So you matched with Mark's forces. What's next?
He did ask to have his head, didn't he?
Yeah, I want to walk up and take the guy's head. I want to be the person to give it to him.
I want to, since his head is still attached to his body currently, right?
Correct.
I'm going to bring my battle axe down and chop it off.
Nice, easy, clean. Cover girl.
I will check for plunder, and I am sure everyone else will, to look for what exactly do they have here. I see crates, I see boxes.
Before I go
Yeah.
looking, can I yank one of the dead bugbear's like tusks out of his mouth
Sure.
as a trophy? And I'm gonna wear it around my neck.
That'll be your action. I'll let you do that.
Okay.
Anyone inside this area?
Please.
Can we grab the torch so that we can see?
Yeah. Before I go in there, I'll go in and grab the torch yet again.
What everybody's complaining about, I can see fine.
Yeah. Inside area 8 that you're
but
currently
you can see
in,
in the dark.
there are a pile of sacks. Most sacks and crates. Most of them are marked with the image of a lion, which may or may not be in.
Would we
Do-
know?
Do we know
that
the
symbol?
symbol?
You wouldn't be
Do we
familiar with it.
recognize
Random public event where, like a
I'm sorry, what did we find? I'm sorry, I missed that. What was that? What may or may not be important?
Yeah, there's some sacks and crates that have the image of a.
Oh, can some of us make a history roll, see if we identify it's a marker, right? Like it belongs like somebody's property.
Correct. Yeah. I'll let you make a history roll.
Nice.
Yeah, that'll be enough. So Vito, you recall that when you were talking with Gundren about plans for bringing the supplies, you mentioned that there was a warehouse and trading post in called the Lion Shield Coaster.
I need a pen.
The
Addition to the tests tax, there is open treasure box that 100 copper pieces, 110 silver pieces, potions of aid statuette of a frog, tiny golden orbs for eyes, about 40 gold.
I'm sorry, could you say that again? I missed that. I'm sorry, could you say that again, please?
Yep. 600 copper pieces.
Okay.
110 silver pieces.
Okay.
2 potions of healing.
Got it.
A jade statuette of goop with tiny golden orbs for eyes. Which could be estimated for about 40 gold.
Okay.
Or more, depending on who you're trying to sell it to.
Okay. That's a lot of coins.
I'm not allowed to do anything because I took the guy's tusk. Is that what I'm getting here?
That's what you chose to do.
Damn. Okay, that's okay. It's a
I
war
mean,
trophy.
You can split the rewards however you see.
I just want the froggy statue.
What
At
did
least
you
One of
do?
the
And
persons.
obviously, I want some of the money too. But also, did we get the sense that this cave system was being like ran by my father? So this is stealing from him.
No, Clark is in charge. He's the boss. Yemek is the second.
But we're stealing from these goblins, yes?
Of course you are.
Will they notice if we take all this stuff right now?
They're
And then
not
go talk
there.
to them? No, I mean, when we go talk to them, they won't notice we have all their treasure on us?
It's something to bargain with them, is it
Like to
not?
bargain with if you decide to disclose. I don't think. Are you carrying anything large?
No,
I mean,
I say we
I
fill
think-
our pockets.
Yeah, I think by the time they notice that all the stuff is gone, we'll be gone.
so
I'm gonna take one of the potions of healing and pocket it.
Okay.
yeah, and
I think maybe
Um,
the people who have taken the most damage at the moment should take the potions of healing.
I rather give the healing potion to Rin because she's got the nimble agility, and if someone needs to move to give it to someone, she's the best choice.
But Vito needs to take one right now.
Yeah, I would take it as well, just in case we have to get nasty with the other
Yeah.
goblins.
I mean, doesn't he have pretty low health at this point?
I mean, again, we're under the assumption that he's going to follow through on the deal. I'm concerned that he's going to back off once he realizes that we've done this dirty job for him.
Mm-hmm.
So we should prepare, in the event that he reneges on the deal, and then we have to take him by force.
Well, my point is just that Vito should drink the potion now.
Oh yeah, he should. I agree.
Yeah.
How many guidance we get now?
Ooh.
We gain 6.
That's not bad.
Considering at the moment I do not have any more lay on hand points.
You want it? You want the other potion?
Well, it's more she can't heal us in the middle of battle if we need it.
Yeah, I mean, again, we're sort
Yeah,
of the
we should carry
frontliners.
carry the second one. I'll carry it and get it to anyone who needs it.
Yeah, agreed.
Yes.
And then we can let's just take our two strongest individuals should carry the coins.
Yes.
The Jada statue wanted to go to Rin, is that right?
Yeah, I want that going in my pocket
Yeah.
because I like it.
The goop
Take-
statue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Keep-
assuming it's a goblin thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I like shiny things. Okay.
and then the strongest character takes the coins, and we'll divide that stuff evenly. Put it all in one pouch, and so we can kind of flaunt it in the event that he tries to do something, to our patron.
Is there anything else in the room?
All of that.
I'll toss all the I'll toss the silver and copper in my my pack. I'll keep it separate from everything though.
Yeah, keeping it separate would be a good idea.
As I am carrying the head of the bugbear, I'd like to start moving towards back towards the area that we're headed to.
I'm just gonna follow along behind. Cause yeah.
Okie dokie.
Hey, you gotta let me go first for dramatic
Yeah,
effect.
I am. Go ahead.
Vito's trying to catch up. He's busy stuffing coins in his pockets.
Well, look who it is.
I take the bugbear head and I throw it at his feet. Do my best to splash blood on him.
Do an excellent job.
There's your.
Always were a messy one.
Give me our friends.
I'll take that compliment.
I'd like our
Alright.
friends back now.
You can go.
Not without our friends.
You know, it seems to me that you're not really in a position to ask for anything.
You think we're the ones in a bad position? We've
Boy.
killed off this entire cave of goblins. Don't think we won't take you out too.
Big words for such a little girl. You want your friend
Take
back?
those words from me,
Maybe,
then, buddy.
maybe you got something you can offer us in exchange, huh?
You're the one doing the talking. You're the one with the charisma, not me. So to make a decision.
What will the tribe think of you going back on this deal?
You're looking at him.
This is all that's left? Ha! Pathetic.
There's definitely gonna be one less goblin in this room if you keep talking like that.
I look to my friends to see what they want to do because I am just ready to kill him.
Hearing how this is all going, Vito is taking an arrow out of his quiver and notching it on his bow, getting something ready.
I love that Yimmick has the goblin, that kind of has all the goblin stuff on. That's great. Okay, damn it. Okay, I'm not the person to be doing this. Okay, so I say to this is what I say. I say to the goblins. I speak in goblin. I said, "Yimmick is it?" I go, "Look, we did what you wanted. We're willing to leave here. You can be spared your lives. Just give us the man." That's the only, because it's only one guy in there, right? The guy, those
Two. They're
two?
dwarves.
Yeah. We want both of our friends. He goes, "Look, it's a fair deal. All the items, they're all still what you need, or my friend here." And I kind of push Amris, the big minotaur with her giant battle axe, and I kind of shove her forward. We'll be forced to have to do something, and in the end, nobody wins. Let's all live to fight another day. And I kind of reach out to Vito, because I think Vito had the highest strength, or Aramis, who had the bag of coins. Who did?
Vito had it.
Vito, I say, Vito, hand me the bag with all the copper coins.
So I take all the copper and I hand it to him.
And I throw
First
it in
of
this.
all, who's addressing me?
I step forward.
What's
Here.
your name?
Barnett. Barnett the Hunter.
Yeah, well, I'm Yimmick, leader of the Red Brands. And, unless you're gonna give me a substantial reward for returning your friend here, I'm afraid he's gonna have to remain as a guest of the Red Brands.
And at that point, with the bag of coins that Vito gave me, I throw them right here, like right here in front of me, right? The whole bag, right? And I throw it down there, and I say, "Look, there it is. Everything we found that the bugbear had. It's a fair trade. Just give us our friends."
Yimmick says, "Yorkie." And the goblin at the top of the stairs runs down and grabs the coins. And then runs back up, and they pass the coins along to Yimmick. And when he looks at them, he shuffles his hands through them, and then dumps them out on the floor and says, "What in the hell is this? What am I supposed to buy with this?"
Holy shit. Okay, well, hey, look, I've tried. What do you guys want to do? Anyone want to say anything? I mean, he obviously understands some common.
He doesn't want to be persuaded.
If you're gonna buy me off, you're gonna have to do better than a pair of new shoes.
I look at the goblin.
Emran getting really, really pissed off that he's not following through with his word, is just gonna kind of step forward. Oops.
Step forward. Go ahead and move your token.
Gonna step forward. I'm gonna stand in front of Ren. She's gonna look at him dead in the eyes. She's going to kind of huff, like do the classic bull thing where they exhale through their nose.
Snort.
And then say, "If you do not hand us our friend, I will gouge you with my horns."
Why don't you roll me an intimidation?
There is it. There it is.
Damn.
Yeah.
Pretty intimidating.
For emphasis, she's gonna kind of look as though she's gonna get ready to charge. Just
Yeah,
Stomp
yeah.
their feet.
I want everyone to
Yeah.
stress
Yeah,
from the
yeah.
looks of it. He's like on a ledge, right? This stairs goes up, and this is about 10 feet or 20 feet. How high is that?
It's 10.
10.
feet.
Okay, so
Yep.
about 10 feet. So just be mindful of that.
She could scale it.
I am a
He's afraid.
6'10" Minotaur.
Yimik starts to back down and he rubs his hands together and he's like, well, you see, Sildar here, he's a friend of ours too. You know, we don't want to see nobody get hurt, but we gotta make sure that our interests are protected too.
I haven't heard any terms.
What do I gotta spell it out for you?
Apparently so.
I want a better ransom than 500 coppers.
We gave you the bugbear's head. What
And that
more
was a
could you
very
want?
nice errand that you did for me. But now we're talking business.
We talked business before, but you went back on your word. I am in no mood to listen to anything else you want to say, unless you give us our friend.
Well, I don't know what
I-
to tell you. We're sort of backed into a corner here.
Yes, you are. And I draw my bow and point an arrow at my dad.
I got
As
one of those
you
too, sweetheart.
wish.
Oh, this is not good. We better hope we get a good initiative or we're gonna get pelted by a bunch of fucking arrows.
Vito sees what Rin is doing, and he follows suit, and he raises his bow and arrow as well, and points it right at him.
At this point, I drop the torch on the ground because I already feel it. I can feel the tension in the air. The torch gets dropped on the ground. I'm just holding my, because I had the longsword and the torch. And then I just kind of grip onto the pommel of my axe. And I'm looking at Goblin 2.
Roll Initiative. Hold on,
Oh, man. I'm gonna die.
There, I get my nat 20 on an initiative.
So far, we're doing pretty good on initiative.
There it goes.
Yeah,
Yeah, it'd be nice if I rolled above a 10 for initiative. I don't know why my initiative isn't going on to the thing. Oh, I know why. Because I know why.
So Ken, why don't you roll the initiative?
I can't.
You should have access to the sheet. Not? Yeah, it should be in your journal. So it would
I'm
be
gonna
it
die.
would be Vito's turn first. Vito, what are we doing?
Which one's Yimik?
The one that's name is Yimik.
Because of the dynamic lighting, I can't see from where I was standing.
Yeah, you have no line of sight on Yimik from there.
Okay. All right, then I'm going to take a shot at Goblin number 4, that's standing here at the top of the stairs,
Got it.
with my longbow.
That roll.
And we're not surprised at this point, right?
Nope.
That's correct.
Yeah, so you take a shot, like you're kind of reacting to the fight starting pretty quickly, and you just quick draw and launch it, but you don't really take time to aim.
Gotcha. I'm gonna nestle up here next to Barnett and Rin in case anything gets fired over towards them. I'm within 5 feet. And that's all.
I yell at everyone to stay near Amorous and her shield. In a game term, stay adjacent to her if at all possible. She can block attacks with her shield.
Over to Goblin 1. Gonna make
She has the intercept feat.
Gonna make a short bow attack. Hold on. Why? Bad. Might need to.
Uh-oh.
Apologies.
How dare you?
Horrible.
I've lost immersion. My immersion blood is all over your hands.
Does a 14 hit? No, it does not.
No, it does not.
Okay.
It's her shield.
Then Yemek. Your turn.
Well, no.
Just remember, there is a 6'10" Minotaur standing in front of you, death staring you.
And you good?
Is there a way to roll attacks from this sheet?
Yeah, it's just the short bow and scimitar buttons.
I see. Well, that doesn't hit anything. Yemek's just gonna step back out of line of sight.
How his attack misses. Who'd you try to shoot?
You.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Anything else?
Nope.
Okay.
I'd like to laugh at him when his arrow misses.
Eat. Amorous.
Alright, so how high up is that?
10 feet.
It's 10 feet, so I won't be able to reach with a javelin if I am holding it. Or will I?
I don't think you can target Yemek from there.
Yeah.
You can't you shouldn't be able to target him, Goblin 5, or this whatever this one is here. The only one that you can attack is 4, 1, and 2. You can choose to attack the other ones, but at disadvantage, and I don't recommend it.
I'm gonna run forward to there.
Gouge him with
And
that
I'm
bonus
going-
action. And you get 2 attacks.
Oh, I could do that, yeah. So that would be, oh wait, let me take a look.
I think actually you have to use your action to dash in order to get the horn attack. Otherwise, you get hammering horns,
does it
which
say
is a
that? I don't
shove
know.
and not an attack.
Let me see. I don't know what it says. Hold
Doing
on.
Gorging Rush, I'll need to, immediately after you use a dash action,
Oh, yeah,
on your
she has to
turn and move
dash.
at least 20 feet. You can make 1 melee attack with the horns
No.
as a bonus action.
Yeah, it's not worth it. Don't do that.
Yeah.
I didn't know
So
you had a dash.
I'll use my battle axe on Goblin 4.
That hits.
She's just
Oh,
demolishing
yeah.
people, man. Yeah.
Yeah, so you draw your battle axe, run up to Goblin 4, and you make kind of like a pattern in the air. So, like, you chop the goblin's legs off, then swing up and curve around to chop his head as he's falling to the floor.
I'm gonna turn to Yemek just after that goblin dies, and I'm just gonna yell at him, "That'll be you!"
Anything else?
That is all I'm gonna do.
Rin!
Can I get a good shot on Yumik from here?
No.
That's a fucking shame. Okay, well, I'm going to shoot Goblin 2 with my crossbow. Or crossbow, shortbow.
Unfortunately, your focus is on Yimik and no one else. So when you go to attack Goblin 2, you're not really in it. You're not really focusing on Goblin 2, and so your attack misses.
And I hide as my bonus action, and then in my turn.
How are you gonna hide at your?
I am going to. Oh God, hold on, I moved my thing wrong. I'm gonna step like behind my friends. Can't I do that? I'm very small.
Can't. Are you size small?
I don't know. I'm 3'4".
Goblins are size small, right? Not crazy, right?
Yes, they are.
Alright, so
yeah, they are.
if I'm correct, she can occupy this tile.
Correct. You
Correct.
can
You can move through
yes.
it. You can't take any actions while in somebody else's tile, technically.
Correct.
Then
I don't want to go over there. Okay, I guess I won't hide.
Okay.
It's just,
I'll run over here by my buddy
Okay.
Amorous, and then end my turn.
Goblin 5 is going to make a short attack against Barnett. So many tabs.
Yeah.
The 22 hit.
I think so.
Ooh.
You know,
I'm
I
gonna
just want to
use.
say for the record,
Unlucky.
he's hit me with a natural 20, a 22, a 24.
I'm gonna use my interception reaction to reduce the damage.
Ooh, look at that, Vito! Yay!
Oh! So it does
Technically,
nothing.
Look at
you
that.
have your bow out.
Veto
I have
coming
my
in.
bow
You
out.
have to have your
Live.
shield.
Oh yes, Vito did have his bow out. He did, folks.
Well,
Correct.
honey.
And he needs to have a shield or a weapon, a melee weapon in hand to do that.
Oh, buddy.
Oh
Oh,
shit!
fuck.
Yeah, that's true. He's right.
Yes,
Okay.
Well, it says
No.
that arrow goes straight through Barnett's chest and pins him against the wall
Ugh.
behind him.
That takes me
Oh,
down,
no.
folks.
Shit.
Indeed.
We
All
do
right.
have that healing potion.
So Goblin 3 is going to maneuver to the top of the stairs. He's going to try and push Amorous.
Oh, good fucking luck, you small piece of shit.
Goblins aren't the smartest creature, guys.
They really
Hey!
not.
It's athletics versus athletics. He could technically do it.
Yeah, if Amorous rolls really bad.
11 is the score to beat.
So what do I roll?
Athletics.
You're telling me
Or-
that Goblin doesn't have disadvantage on this?
Doesn't. Not by rules, he doesn't.
Oh,
Who wins this if it's a tie?
Tie
Is-
goes to the defender.
Right.
Okay.
It goes to defender. Yeah.
So the goblin tries to push you down the stairs, but your like structure, your size is way too much. That'll be it for goblin.
Here
Barnett's.
goes my saving throw.
oh no.
I know. Here goes.
First death saves.
That's not
Oh
good.
no.
That's all right. We got three.
The
It's good.
clock ticks toward death
the
for
clock.
Barnett.
Yep. The clock ticks.
Oh,
That's it for me?
gosh.
All right. So then we're back on Vito's turn.
You skip Goblin
Oh,
2.
I skipped goblin 2. Who moved the turn order?
I did not touch it.
Is it me? All right. Well.
Oh, it might have been
Thank
me.
you, Milky.
Sometimes it does that.
Have
It just
access.
glitches. Sometimes if you
Well-
do it once, it'll do it twice.
We'll have goblin 2 make for bow attack.
The most imposing force at the moment.
And that will miss. Kind of
Yep.
worried about hitting Goblin 3, so not quite able to lock it in. Vito.
Vito pulls out his hand axe, and he goes around the opposite side of Barnett,
Okay.
and he makes a hand axe attack against Goblin 2.
All right, let's see it.
Awesome.
Ooh, yes.
Roll that damagey.
Roll the 1. So 3 damage.
Yeah, so you kind of just
Aw.
hack into his arm, but nothing. Cool.
And then I'm gonna keep my head on a swivel, and if any damage comes towards Barnett, now that I have my hand axe out, I'm gonna try to protect him.
Oh.
And that's kind of my turn.
Cool.
Goblin 1, you attacking his best buddy, his lifelong childhood friend, and decides
Damn
that he doesn't
goblins.
actually like that, so he's gonna attack you with a scimitar.
Misses.
So then, Nick.
Seth redeemed a group hydrate.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
Also, Ken, if you're speaking, we cannot hear you.
I am not.
Okay.
I was looking for the roll button again. Pretty sure an armor class 6 misses anyone on any target, so
Was Yimik aiming for Rin again?
he totally was.
Okay, Rin's getting real happy at this point.
She's got an excuse.
Seeing Daddy down on his luck.
So, Amorous.
All right. I'm gonna go for that goblin in front of me with my battle axe.
Ooh, that hits.
I'm doing
She's on a roll today, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
awesome.
wow. I'm loving that.
Get him.
You kind of just like
That's awesome.
after killing one goblin, and this goblin tries to like push you down the stairs. You just kind of like just take your battle axe with one hand and chop his arm off. And he's like staring at it, blood spurting from it, and then you just finish him off by swiping clean through his neck. That is enough to kill him.
To finish up my turn, I'm gonna climb up the rest of the stairs and go over here. I'm gonna check and see if the dwarf is awake and aware of what's
There's
happening.
no dwarf.
There's no dwarf? Who's that in front of me then?
Tildar.
That's a human.
Oh,
Oh, that's
I don't think
human?
you ever told us
Right.
what he was.
Did I not?
No, I didn't
No.
write it down.
I got the impression it was human.
Oh, yeah.
Right. I'm gonna see if he's awake and aware.
He's
It's okay.
He's conscious, very weak, and tortured.
Right. Is there any way that I can unbind his rope so that he's out of, I can like
You
get him
already
out of
used
the
your
way?
actions.
Okay,
So no.
that's alright. After making sure he's okay, I'm just gonna kind of stand up, still death staring Yimik.
Finn, what are you doing?
I was looking at something else. I am going to turn around, take aim, and shoot at Goblin 1.
Good one. There you go. That should
Yeah,
take him down.
that's a good hit. The damage?
7, right on the dot. Boom.
Yeah, so
Does
you
that kill him?
launch an arrow and it goes like right into his throat and he dies. Okay, anything
I
else?
run up the stairs and kind of stand behind this rock. I don't know if that'll give me any cover, but it gives me a clear line of sight.
Hey. Now Goblin 5's turn. When he's compatriots brutally murdered by you and rushing up to meet him, and decides now's the time. Not wasting. Pushes Sildar off the ledge. Sildar takes enough damage to cause him to fall into death.
The bitch. After I checked on him. Fuck. Oh, that goblin's got to
Barnett.
pay.
That was my save.
Oh,
Oh no.
That's 2.
damn.
Goblin 2 is going to attack Vito. Scimitar. 22 definitely hits.
Oh shit.
Just hits.
Just hits?
Just hits.
Just hits.
Just hits. 3 slashing.
Oh, thank God.
Vito.
Oh.
Is there anything that I can do to try to stabilize Barnett?
Sure,
Yeah,
why
you
don't you
just-
roll me, if you don't have any healing spells or items, why don't you do medicine?
Alright, here goes nothing.
Shit, I forgot I
There
could
you
have went
go.
over to Barnett and helped him.
Good job.
Yeah, so
That's
you
enough.
rip off some cloth on your arm and you try and stabilize the Sildar's chest. Not Sildar,
Barnett's chest.
Barnett's chest.
Mhm.
my bad.
Just, yeah.
And you
That's enough.
kind of staunch the bleeding a little.
Cool.
You'll be stable at 0 hit points.
Yep. No more death saving throws. Yay!
Woohoo.
Thank you.
Anything else, Vito?
I'll do I still have my hand axe in my hand?
You do.
Okay, then that's enough. I'm good on my turn. Because that was my action, right?
Yep.
Okay, yep, I'm good.
Emic.
Third time's the charm.
See it. Oh,
Is he
12
trying to
hit.
aim for Ren?
Oh god, I saw the
again?
24. Does the 12 hit me? No.
maybe he gets
No,
advantage.
no.
Would you get? No.
No.
Oh yeah, I thought that was a 24. I was like, oh, fuck.
Anything else, Ken?
I think he's gonna move over here.
All right. Emrys.
All right. I'm gonna head forward and take out this goblin here. Oh no!
Maybe not.
Oh, maybe not.
No!
He's like,
That
I'm
goblin
gonna
is-
take him out.
Yep.
Been
Put them into the end.
swinging for the fences all night, leaving heads, crashing skulls. But this time, you're a little bit too confident. You overswing, you pull your shoulder a little bit. You're not able to connect with Goblin. Anything else?
Can I try and push him?
No.
Damn it! Okay, that's all I can do.
Rin.
I'm
have a
going
kiss for
to. What'd you say?
Do you have a kiss for Daddy?
Are you kidding?
You kidding?
Great movie.
I'm going to shoot at Goblin 5 with my short bow.
Right. Again, your mind isn't quite on Goblin 5. You're focusing on Emic, and you're not able to concentrate on hitting your else.
Can I hide behind this rock?
Sure.
Thank you. I will hide.
Goblin 5 is going to make a scimitar attack against Emrys. Is a 13?
No, it does not.
Awesome.
Goblin 5, he's hacking many great success. And although you missed this time, he's still afraid of you. He's going to try and back up as far as possible. We'll draw the attack.
Yes.
She's like, yes.
Yeah, it will.
But unfortunately,
Unfortunately, the goblin's too small and nimble to capitalize on this. And so he's able to make it back without...
We do be small boys.
Barnett's,
Yes.
you're unconscious. But
I'm good.
Goblin 2 going to make a scimitar attack. Ito.
Oh, that's bad.
Oh no.
That's bad. Oh, he goes down. Oh
Oh
no.
no. We only have one healing potion.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting.
Very cool.
All right. Vito, give
Oh,
me your first
gosh.
death save.
Here we go.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
I was real close to dying.
Oh.
So
One is
he-
actually only 2 failed death.
One
saves.
is only 2 fails, correct?
Okay.
Yeah.
Emic.
You're good.
At this point, Yemik says, "The hell with this!" and jumps down the cliff face and starts to run away.
And he'll provoke no opportunity attacks because nobody's there.
Nobody's there, yeah.
Amorous, how are you going to deal with this?
That's not Yemik's
Um,
full movement.
Oh, it's not? Where Emic
No.
be going?
Down the what do you call it?
The
The
crevasse?
passage. Yeah,
We'll call
that.
it a
And then he's gonna
crevasse.
use his action to dash.
The fucker.
All right, so you can probably make it
Okay.
here.
Word.
There. Amorous.
As much as Amaranth would like to chase after him, that's not probably a good idea. So Amaranth is gonna. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Amaranth is gonna come down here, and it's gonna try and. So
The healing potion.
Silda, was it?
Yeah, stabilizing.
I'm gonna try and stabilize him.
All right. Are you going to use... You don't have any lay on hands, right?
Nope, I do not.
All right, so then roll me a med check.
You just need 12 medicine. You can do this. There.
Ah,
Yeah.
And that's enough.
Oh, okay.
Still at 0, but... anything else?
All right. I'm not gonna be able to go over to Vito and stabilize him, will I?
Nope.
Okay, that's my turn then. That's all I can do.
Right. Finn.
Still have a goblin alive over by Vito.
Oh,
Correct.
that's right. There is a
I'm
goblin
gonna
over
try
there.
to shoot it with my short bow.
All right.
Nice.
Ooh,
That
nice.
should have nailed him. Yep.
Yep.
Awesome.
So,
Awesome.
your sight line is now unobstructed. Emic is gone from view. Finally, things are lining up right for you. You're able to concentrate on your target, line it up.
And then I'm gonna use my movement to come down here. Can I reach all the way to Vito? 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah.
Yep.
I can't do anything at this point,
Can't
can
do
I?
anything.
But I'm close to him, so that's what I was worried about. And I'll end my turn.
Goblin 5 steps out from his nook that his
Oh, that's
compatriots
right.
are dead. And he's the only one. Surrenders.
I'm gonna look over at that goblin and say, to be honest, I forgot you were there.
Like slinks back in the corner. And the counter is over.
Okay, before we carry on, can I run to the bathroom?
Of course. We'll take another like 5-10 minute
No,
break.
no, you cannot.
Okay.
Shush. Shush. We'll take another 5-10
All right.
minute break. We'll see you in about 5-10 minutes.
Oh,
Hi, I'm Lombot Goldstein, but you can call me Lombot. Well, I'm not having a panic attack about the ever-increasing stack of unfiled paperwork waiting in my office during my adventure. I'm dreaming of better days, spent in the Dungeon Divers Discord server. There, I could find fantastic stories, meet new people, make new friends, and share new and wonderful experiences, completely distracting me from my real-world duties and obligations. It's ruining my life. Anyways, they're running multiple games a week, every week, with experienced DMs and an active moderation team, so make sure you come by and check things out. Also, make sure you're subscribed. It's free with Prime, and you'll no longer have to watch ads. It's a wonderful thing. Anyways, I've finished dissociating enough to do this advertisement, so I'm going to go finish some paperwork. Bye-bye!
All right, everybody, welcome back to Lost Mines of Phandelver. We finished conquering this goblin hideout, and now we'll be discussing steps. So, what do you guys want?
Well,
Well,
we collect
Vito
the
is-
money off the ground, yes?
Of course you would.
Oh yeah.
Money.
And we
Are
need
they-
to corner this goblin and interrogate him.
Can do that. But what about Vito, Bonnet, and Silda? They're still unconscious, right?
You can see who has priorities in this group. Sorry,
Uh,
one sec.
yeah,
Yeah, we
right
need
now-
to do that first.
Yeah, right now Vito's unconscious and still bleeding out.
No,
I mean,
we're conscious now. When the encounter ends, you go immediately to 1 hit point.
Go play.
Oh, okay.
So that goblin, I don't think is gonna run anywhere, considering the fact that we are covering the exit.
No, this goblin's currently biting his toenails in the corner, whimpering for his life.
Fetal position, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I take. Are they both stable?
Currently, yes. Cable.
I don't know who you're to give the potion to. We only got one potion. Can they split the potion?
I'm
We
not
can
saying you
take a
don't
long
need the
rest
potion.
here.
I think
Oh, okay.
you should give it to the patron personally.
I don't think
Yeah,
this isn't the patron.
I think maybe
It's
Silda needs it a little bit more.
What'd you say, Milky?
I mean, I don't think, if I might be so bold as your gracious DM, I don't think you necessarily need to use that potion.
Okay, yeah, because we
There's
can do the
nothing
rest.
else here. You
Okay.
wiped the entire.
So
table.
see,
yeah,
I
this
was
is-
right.
this is-
Grab the money, interrogate the goblin, and then we can worry
This
about
is
them in
a
a minute.
good place to take a long rest, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that
All right.
what
Well,
we're
we need
doing?
to tie. We need to tie the goblin up first.
All right. So one of you can tie the goblin up. Is anyone
Who
volunteering?
has
Yeah, I like
who
tying
has some
things up.
rope?
All right. Rin enjoys rope play, so that's what Rin is going to do. And we'll be taking our long rest.
Okay.
Okay, so everybody fill up.
Long rest. If you just hit the little thing on the top, reset hit points. Perfect. Confirm. Long rest.
All
taken.
right.
All right. So we have
Vito fixes his hair.
a captured
I'm gonna-
goblin and
Here.
patron.
That's not our
Or at
patron,
least
is it?
someone that,
Okay, so I want to ask the goblin something.
Okay.
So, can I try to intimidate him? Do I need to do that? He's tied up in a
Or
corner.
you can try and
Okay, so I
I'm-
draw
I'm
my.
standing. Sorry,
Go ahead.
sorry. I'm standing behind and kind of helping with the intimidation.
Yes, she is.
Alright, so
Yes, they
then-
are.
Then you can roll with advantage.
Good thing you have advantage.
Yeah, so that's enough. This goblin's already like quivering. He's pissed his pants or his loincloth.
Yeah, so I draw my rapier and I hold it up to his throat.
So
And I say, I have some questions for you.
ask away.
Firstly, what did you take from the tube that was left by the horses?
Well, the bugbear that you saw, he got a message from King Grohl the other day. It was the king of the Cragmaws, and some bloke named the Black Spider. He's paying us to look out for the dwarf man. We captured him and we sent the stuff to King Grohl. But there was some fancy bits and bobs and like a map.
A map of what?
I don't know. I didn't get to look at it.
Do we recognize any of those?
It went to
those
what was?
names?
I'm sorry. What was the king's name?
Grohl. You should know
Yeah,
this,
yeah,
Rin.
I was trying to remember. I can find it in my notes. Yeah. And then where did Emic go?
I don't know. You think if I knew, there would I would, I don't know where he
I
went.
think if you want to keep your ears.
I would very much like to keep my ears. I would very much like that.
Okay, I skulk away because I'm very dissatisfied with the information that I just got. It's not enough. And I let Amris go at him if she has anything she wants to do.
Amris, I'll let you use the same role. Do you have anything you want to ask?
I don't have anything. I just wanted to help Rin with intimidation.
All right.
All right.
Because I know that goblin's scared of me.
Vito and Barnett, what are we doing?
So Vito goes up to Sildar and he goes, "What the fuck happened here?"
Well, we were taking the ride to Phandelver and got ambushed by these fucking goblins. And they took all my shit and Gundren. And, I'm really upset right now. Like, if you offered to take me back to Phandelver, I'll pay you 50 gold pieces.
Oh.
I'm just...
that's more than what we were getting before.
I'm exhausted, they
Vito's
tortured
big
me.
ears perk up at that noise.
They tortured me, I'm wounded, tired, I'm hungry. I haven't had a good meal in like a day, okay? I'm a big boy. I need my food. I need my rest. And I need my damn sword back.
Vito takes out some of his rations and he hands it to him. Says, "Here, eat up."
Silver goes like buck wild on that shit.
Do you know where they took Gundren?
Yeah, I've been sitting here getting smacked and stabbed for like 24 hours. And these goblins don't shut up. Just kept mentioning some cave, some castle. I don't know where it is, but
Krogma Castle, I do.
you do. You're a goblin.
Very astute.
Mommy.
Are you going to stab me?
Maybe.
She's with us.
I don't.
Not gonna hurt you.
I don't trust you.
Good.
I
Don't trust anybody.
I don't trust that one. She's gonna stab me.
As they're having this conversation, and as I'm saying this to him, I'm walking around all the goblin bodies and like cutting their ears off and putting them on a string.
That way is
Do you want
fun.
down or do you want to sit on my lap?
She is sadistic.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
As
You
fuck.
should have seen what happened to the wolves at the front.
The wolf. What did she do to the wolves?
Trust me, it's giving me nightmares. I couldn't sleep well last night.
I saw them when I was
Buddy,
being
you don't
dragged
wanna
in
know.
here.
You do not want to know.
I kind of do. I want to know.
Look, listen, we could definitely take you to the city you're requesting to take. The gold is appreciated, and I'm sure you can help us along.
No, one more thing. I heard you killed the bugbear. Did you take the stuff? There was stuff in there.
The coins.
No. There was boxes, like bags
We didn't.
of
We didn't.
stuff.
We didn't, we didn't
Blue
take them.
Blue Lion.
They're still there.
You should probably take them.
Yeah, we saw him back at the opening, back in that cave where the bugbear was. I mean, we took some of the coin.
Say
I
we
mean
led
to-
the rest of it back to our
Yes.
wagon.
What the goblin, the evil goblin ladies. Take the. It belongs to one of the people in Phandelver. Gundren and I were looking at the map. You'd probably be able to sell it, then maybe buy me a sword. Oh, I miss my sword.
It's your sword a magic sword or something? So
No,
obsessed
it's a
with it.
cool sword. Have you seen my sword? It's cool.
Well,
Well, I mean, my battle axe is cool.
No, your battle axe is like neat. My sword is cool.
Did you have your sword with you when you were captured?
Yeah, but they took it.
Hmm.
Also, for information, this. There.
Does he give us a description of what the sword looks like? Maybe we can try looking for it on the way out of the cavern system here.
I don't know, man. It's got a handle. It's got a pointy end with two sharp bits that are
Look,
used.
I may be a little dim in the brain area, but I can understand things. What a freaking sword is.
It's really good at cutting goblins into pieces.
And you said my axe wasn't cool. You see what I did to those two goblins over there?
I
And
was
the
more
bugbear.
worried about not dying.
Man, fuck your sword.
Fuck your ex.
Fuck you,
I'm
couch.
all right.
Take me
So
back. Take me to Phandalver.
So you want to go to Phandalver? We're gonna go to Phandalver. We're gonna look for your sword, and we're gonna grab those blue boxes, the blue balls boxes out from the cavern, and bring it with us.
All right, good. Now, where'd
And
you put the cart with the supplies? How did you get there? Where did you put it?
We hit it
A lot of
alongside the road.
You hid the cart on the road? Do
We
you see
hid
these people? They'll
Well,
steal
we should have just
anything.
left you here to die then.
I mean, I'm not saying that. I'm not.
You're saying a lot.
Be-
I'm not
Be
doing much though.
grateful
We-
we came and
I
got
mean-
your ass.
Yeah. So, I mean, we spent the night up here. That's a good question whether we would have left the cart there the whole night. I don't know if like we could have gone back and gotten it and brought it back here before we took the long rest. But if we didn't, yeah, we need to go back there as soon as possible.
We
guys
do
haven't
we do
taken a
need to
long
grab
rest.
the axe. We do we need to get the the cat.
So let's hope that some other beast or animal didn't kill whatever was there.
Oh yeah.
They hit it well, okay?
So,
You think a goblin can't hide things from goblins?
after making
I'm more concerned with a wild beast, pack of wolves or something attacking the oxen.
We didn't decide what we were doing with our prisoner.
Oh, that's right. What are you doing with the prisoner?
Taking them with us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let Phandalver deal with them.
Yeah.
Be,
He's all tied up.
So we brought
someone should
the
carry
stuff
him.
with us?
Yes.
Okay.
On the way
Yeah.
out, I would have looked for Sildar's sword.
It is nowhere in the cave.
Okay.
I gave the goblin a name.
Gibbity gup.
What do you got?
Bibbidi gup. Bibbidi gup.
Widdly wap.
why is it
I'm
not
gonna
synchronizing?
Emrys is gonna check on the oxes and see how they're doing.
Okay, so as you know, you guys approach the cart. Sil's like, this is what you and
I'm sorry.
it's okay. It's okay. As he approaches the cart, he's like, this is where you left it? This?
It's hidden.
It's hidden!
My grandma, my
stab him.
blind grandmother could see this from 50 yards away.
I'm gonna stab him.
If you stab me, you're not getting your gold pieces.
I
If you
put
don't
my
shut up,
arm
I'm
out.
gonna stab you.
I put my arm out and block Rin, try to hold her back.
Sildar's gonna plop his ass on the cart. All right, well, let's go.
Well, I'm not carrying the goblin.
I have the goblin. I mean, you can put the goblin on the back of the cart as well.
Yeah, let's throw the goblin on the back
I'll
of the
carry
cart.
the goblin.
I think we should let the goblin walk, and we tie him to the wagon.
Yeah, time to the back of the wagon because I want to ride on Amber's.
Actually, you know what? Perhaps you should just drag him behind the wagon.
Well, I mean, we're taking our time anyway. It's not like we're moving fast, right? So we're making a smooth travel back to the city, and that goblin can walk. So we do tie like his wrist to the wagon. We give it a little bit of berth and make sure that he understands that like it's not fun for him at all.
As
Yeah.
we're like getting ready to travel, I walk up to Barnett and just sort of look up at him with a sweet look on my face and offer him the necklace of goblin ears.
I do. We definitely, yeah, goblin ears will work. If you already got the necklace, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't want to carry it or put it around my neck. I definitely put it into a pouch or a sack, and we can maybe give it out and just let them know that look, we killed some goblins. Maybe someone will pay us or treat us nice once we get to the city.
Right. So you're on the
Like
roll
my
to
present.
Vandalen. Nope.
And I'm walking behind the goblin, poking him every once in a while in the butt.
Yeah, I could put it. Let me put a rope. This is funny.
All right. So you are about here. Oh, you guys should be able to see it, right?
Yeah.
Dynamic lighting on this one. Yep. You guys approach from the north. Rutted track emerges from a wooded hillside. Catch your first glimpse of Vandalen. The town consists of 40 or 50 simple log buildings built on old fieldstone foundations. More old ruins, crumbling stone walls covered in ivy and briars surround the newer houses and shops, showing how this must have been a much larger town in the past. Most of the newer buildings are set on the sides of the cart track, which widens into a muddy main towards times on a hillside town. As you approach, you see children playing on the town green, or running errands at shops. Many people look up at you as you approach, but all return as you go by. Builder seems much more at ease.
No, put it up.
Like, my friends, let us secure lodgings. I'm told the local inn is very quaint.
Rin is sort of walking around, taking it all in, and is kind of taken aback at how peaceful everything is. She's not really seen anything like this before.
So as you're wandering down, get approached by one of the Elmar. He sees the cart coming, and very happy to see. Comes up, sees you. He pays you 10 gold pieces, and then you take possession of the wagon. And, like, you know, hello, my friends. You know, my name is Elmar. I'm glad to meet you. I am assigned to take care of this carriage for you. Here's 10 gold pieces for your service. I'm a friend of Gundren's.
We keep the copper too, yes?
We
Correct.
keep all that. Yeah. Where does the guy tell us to go with this blue lion stuff?
Hold on. This is
Right,
kind of
the
what
guy.
Elmar looks like.
Ooh, old man.
Yep. Told me. He takes care of the cart, but he says, so you can deliver those items over at the Lion Shield Costa. That's where those crates are from.
Right. We should take these over to there.
I
And
might
who
ask.
should we inform?
I'm sorry. I might ask, where is Gundren?
I was about to ask who we should inform about that.
Yeah.
Goblins seem
The
to have
Goblin King has
ambushed
taken him prisoner.
Oh.
Yeah, that.
Oh. That's not quite saddening to hear. Gundren is my friend.
Well, we know where he's been taken. I believe so. So maybe we can go and
Is this related to
retrieve him?
the lost mine of Phandelver? I'd like all of you to make history checks.
Okay.
Oof.
Ugh.
Did mine not roll?
No, it did.
That's working.
See it.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, I see it.
That's not loading. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna have to reload.
Barnett and I have no
From the
clue.
area, don't I get advantage on this history check?
No.
Aw. Worth a shot.
It is worth a shot.
The only one who didn't roll was the paladin, right?
Yeah, Kit had to reload.
So that was history?
Correct.
So what do we know?
Yeah, 13's
That
your
was a
highest.
bad one.
Bryn.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So, at this point, Stilder pipes up. Yes, I suspect that we were captured because of our quest. Then explains to you what the Phandelver's pact is, and explains the lost mine. So, more than 500 years ago, of dwarves and gnomes, Phandelver's pact, by which they would share a rich mine in a winter's cavern known as Wave Echo Cave. In addition to its mineral wealth, the mine contained great magical power. Human spellcasters allied themselves with the dwarves and gnomes, channel and bind that energy into a great forge, called the Forge of Spells, where magic items could be crafted. Times were good, and the nearby human town of Phandalin, it is pronounced Phandalin, Kyle, Fragile Fighter, if you're watching.
Yeah, it's Phandalin.
The Forge of what?
What did he think it was? What
What's
did
it
he
called?
think it was?
He thinks it's Phandalin, but
No, it's
screw
Phandalin,
you.
yeah.
I remember the source, okay? Fragile Fighter.
What was the forge called?
Forge of Spells. The town of Phandalin, or Phandalin, prospered as well. But then disaster struck when orcs swept through the north and laid waste to all in their path. A powerful force of orcs reinforced by evil mercenary wizards attacked Wave Echo Cave to seize its riches and magic treasures. Human wizards fought alongside the dwarf and gnome alike to defend the Forge of Spells, and the ensuing spell battle destroyed much of the cavern. You survived the cave-ins and treasures, and the location of Wave Echo Cave was lost. Hold on.
Ooh.
Have something set up for this. Outs. I do. All right, so you should have access to a handout called Background, and in that has text the information I just out to you.
All right. Yeah, it's there.
Where?
There's a handout called Background
A handout where?
In
Where
the
do I see
journal.
it?
on your
In
journal.
the journal.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. After relaying that. Barthen mentioned different page. Barthen also mentions that two more Rockseeker brothers camped somewhere outside of town, and he hasn't seen them in.
Oh.
He hasn't seen them in like 9 or so days, and he expects them to return any day now to resupply. You can probably ask him then where Gundren is, or how to find Gundren. You don't already know. They might be able to help you.
We should go out and talk to them, maybe.
We should.
We should wait for them to come to town.
But I think that is where we're going to leave it for this evening. It has been a pleasure. We will be leveling up, so everyone will be level 2 by next session. And I'll see you all next Sunday. Be sure to check out our stream on Tuesday of Annihilation. Check out our Discord server. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow on all platforms. And if nobody else has anything else to add, then that is where we will be leaving it for tonight.
Juice, have a good one.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you so much
Thank you for
for your
coming.
attention.